It's Game On. Presented by Spectrum Sports.
And a very pleasant good evening from the Stan Sheriff Center in Manoa, where it's opening round action of the NCAA Women's Volleyball Tournament as the 12th-seeded Rainbow Wahine play host to the Bears of Northern Colorado. And this is Game On, presented by Spectrum Sports for Rainbow Wahine Volleyball.
It's awesome, you know? Whoever they put in front of us, we just gotta take it one time, you know, one team at a time. To me, it doesn't matter. It's just how it matters, like how, you know, how well you play, how much heart you have, you know, and you just keep going. And that's what this team had. This team is special. I'm gonna say it this whole season, they're special. Wherever they put us, the NCAA puts us, these girls are gonna play their hearts off, and fans are gonna love it.
Well, very positive Robin Amo. All right, everybody, I'm Scott. She's Lisa. He's Ryan. Thanks for joining us here this evening for a very special matchup, NCAA Volleyball Hawaii and Northern Colorado. Let's take a look right now at the Hawaii bracket, the teams of 4 teams that are in Honolulu. But first, we're going to see the entire bracket. There you see Nebraska is a 5 seed. They have already advanced, as has Missouri. Earlier, a couple of minutes ago, San Diego knocked off Washington State in 4. The winner of the Hawaii-Northern Colorado match will match up with San Diego tomorrow night. All right, let's take a look now at the ABCA poll and the RPI. There you get a good idea. Baylor, the number 1 seed, also number 1 in the RPI and number 1 in the poll. There you see some of the other teams. Not a big disparity. Colorado State, 10th in the rankings. They did not receive a seed, and they lost, actually, earlier today. The 11th through 20, you look at Hawaii, 18th in the rankings, 11th in the RPI, but they did capture the number 12 seed, and the rest of the top 25, Rice, Michigan, Washington State, UCLA, and Texas A&M. For Hawaii, they're getting a chance to host for the first time since 2013, and for their team, being at home is huge.
When our name got called, it was just kind of like a relief of like, oh my gosh, like, yes, we're staying home. Just because we've been traveling like the past years, and I know our team feels like at this point, like we've been playing some of our best volleyball, especially in the Stan Sheriff, and having a sold out game senior night. And so I feel like just like the vibe after that, we just kind of want to carry that on.
We've been talking about how our crowd is the best in the nation and all that, and to have that crowd on your own side during games is just amazing. And I just realized that it's not only the team who's playing, we're doing it together, all of the Stan, and it's just amazing. And I think if I would have come here to play against that crowd, I'd be scared. So that's definitely a huge advantage for us.
Give me whatever team you want, and we just play. You know, it doesn't matter. The NCAA is going to do whatever brackets they want. But the big thing was I get to stay home with my kids one more week. The girls get to play in front of their fans. They get to, you know, some of them get to play in front of their families. You know, and they packed the Stan the senior night, and for them, you know, hopefully the fans come back and pack it again for these girls to play in front of them. It's an awesome feeling.
Well, 2 weeks ago during senior night, we were all talking about the possibilities of Hawaii hosting. Their RPI was in the right spot, but we know the history. Well, the NCAA came through on Sunday. They awarded Hawaii, as they should, the first and second round. And being at home, that is a big advantage.
Oh, it's absolutely huge. They came at 18, moved up to 12. They sealed the deal when they won the Big West Championship, so they knew they were in the tourney. It was just a matter of where, and to be home, there is nothing like home.
Yeah, there's just that feeling. I mean, I'm from the Big Island. I'm from Hilo, and every time I get off the plane and I hear the Koki frogs, it's like, it's a relief. I mean, Hilo. It's just that feeling that you're home. I don't know what you guys compare it to here in Oahu, but you know, it's just that nice, that sense of relief, that feeling that you get to be here on your home court, playing in front of your own fans. And it's not only about playing, it's also about the normalcy of your schedule. These are players, they get to go to school. This is the finals week for a lot of these student athletes, and it can get pretty crazy. So for them to be able to go to class, for them to be able to sleep in their own beds, it makes a big difference.
You know, I will say that the NCAA didn't do Hawaii any favors. You could make a real argument that the first and second rounds in Honolulu is the toughest in the country when 3 of the 4 teams are in the top 25.
Well, definitely, and one thing that you're going to notice is that Coach Robin Amo says she doesn't really want any favors. Whoever they put out there, she's willing to take them on. She knows that she's going to take care of her team, and she's done a great job doing that, just securing day by day, in and out, playing whoever is across the net from them.
And it almost sounds like a broken record because I feel like we say this every year. Hawaii is probably in the hardest first and second round bracket in the tournament, and we year in and year out say that. No doubt this is the case again this year, but could Hawaii have that secret weapon with Jolie Rasmussen, who's actually warming up right now? We'll see what happens if she gets to play tonight.
She might. You never know. I know two guys that are ready to go. They'll be calling the action, Kanoa and Chris, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. Yeah, next to Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy, and C-Mac, this has been part of the conversation all season long. Was Hawaii putting themselves in a position to host come the NCAA tournament opening rounds? And in fact, they are. The crowd continues to file in here. They're expecting it to be a packed house here at the Stan Sheriff Center. The question, I think, immediately for the Rainbow Wahine, though, is the schedule in the last few weeks has been sparse. They've played some good volleyball the last time out, a couple weekends ago, but it's now the age-old question, rest versus rust. Which side do you think the Rainbow Wahine will fall on?
I think the rest was good for them. I think all of them could use time to heal up some of those dings and some of the injuries they've had. So I think the 2 weeks off was good on that hand. On the other hand, they may have some timing issues tonight early on. There may be some communication mix-ups here and there. I think they'll be very slight, though, because they played so well their last two matches of the Big West Conference. It was about as good of an outing that they've had all year long with the last two outings. So I don't think they'll tail off too much. I watched the practices this week, and they were very sharp.
That's right, and you heard the corner crew sort of hinting towards this. There was an interesting individual who was out there with the team in the initial warm-up period for Hawaii. They are currently waiting to take the floor once again, and that is Jolie Rasmussen. We have not seen her since the 7th match of the season, out nursing an ankle injury, but we are under the understanding that she is cleared to play this weekend if need be. Do we see Jolie Rasmussen here tonight and or tomorrow?
Great question. I think we will not see her start at all for sure. I think that Robin Amo will reward that starting lineup that played so well at the end of the Big West Championship. And I think that we may, though, see her for a few points tonight if they can squeeze her in, just to get her back on the floor and just to get used to her setters and get used to this Terraflex and the crowd and everything else. Because I do think they will need her more tomorrow night when they play a bigger team.
Yeah, they go up against a San Diego team that knocked off Washington State. San Diego with a freshman of the year in that West Coast Conference, Grace Froling, who did not play
Who's
the first time
6'5",
around
by the way.
against
6'5",
Hawaii. Oh, yeah, and she's 6'5", an absolute force on the pin. So we'll get to that here because Hawaii has to take care of business against Northern Colorado. And this is a bit of a reboot, if you will. 2011, the Bears came down to the Stan Sheriff Center. NCAA tournament first round, Hawaii won by way of a sweep. But this is a team that won the regular season and the Big Sky tournament championships. They have a great service ability in terms of scoring. Aces numbers are off the charts, so Hawaii's passing and ball handling game will be tested.
Absolutely. They're ranked in the top 25 in the NCAA in service aces, and I watched them practice this week, and they too look very sharp. They have a couple of pin hitters that are really interesting, too, that hit from all parts of the court, not just on the left side. They move all over the place. So that'll be interesting. It'll pose a bit of a problem for Hawaii's blockers because they have to lock into certain numbers and then follow them, chase them around, make sure they get blocks on them. If Colorado has passing problems, though, that's where their trouble will come because Hawaii blockers will be out there on the pins waiting.
Well, this is money time, NCAA tournament time, and you know how we know it's a big deal? C-Mac, he still has his credential. He's official. All right, we'll see you at first serve. Let's send it back over to the corner crew.
All right, good job, Chris, because you know those folks around here, they check for those. Hawaii comes in 24-3 on the year, but there was a little portion this season where Hawaii had a bit of a hiccup. They lost in 3 to Cal Poly. They got beat at home against UC Irvine. After that, the leaders on this team said it's time for us to start stepping up.
everybody knows we had that little slump in the middle with the Irvine game and the Cal Poly, the road trip. But like right after that or during that, Noreen had stepped up a lot. And I think, that's why I'm like, okay, I'm not taking her off the court. She's a focal point for the girls. She's a leader for the girls right now. She's one of the big ones. Bailey's always, been a leader. She's, on, off the court. I feel like everybody stepped up.
A lot of it is thanks to Coach Rob. She's done a lot for this team, and I think it's just all of the girls we love hanging out together, and it's just we have such a good team spirit, and I think that's so important.
I definitely feel like it was a lot of the senior leadership we had, just because after that whole loss, definitely the seniors we all had to talk after about how this is our season and this is our team. We have so many new girls, young girls, or little babies, so we kind of just have to push them to step up at this time because this is our last year. And I don't know, I would just say everyone did their part on contributing to helping each individual out on the team, and I think the coaches did a great job of pushing us to just not give up, and anything can happen.
All right, time now to step on the scales and weigh in. Brought to you by Bank of Hawaii. We mentioned Hawaii 24-3. They have not lost since they lost that 3-game match at Cal Poly. What do you guys think was the difference? What has turned this team? You don't want to say around because it's not like they really were slumping hard, but really what changed?
Well, I think there was a number of things that happened in those losses. I think that Brooke Van Sickle being healthy enough to be able to contribute the way that she has all throughout the season, those were some of the games where she was injured. And I think overall, the losses actually helped to motivate this team to realize that they simply cannot just show up. And the team that they played tonight is very reminiscent of a lot of the teams that we see in the Big West. They're not big in physicality, but they remind me a lot of these other Big West teams. So Hawaii has got to respect the opponent, and I think those losses actually help them recognize that.
I agree. I think so many players have stepped it up. They've just done a phenomenal job, but also the coaching staff. Again, they've moved players around all over the place. The middles have incredibly improved. Riley Wagner was a starter. There was no libero. So many things have happened, but the leadership, I think it comes down to leadership from the coaching staff to the seniors on this team. That's what's changed.
Noreen Yosia. That's what it is. 6th rotation player of the year in the Big West Conference. Absolutely helped. Alrighty, we'll take a break, but a reminder, catch the greatest plays, biggest blocks, and schedule info by following Spec Sports High on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You're watching Game On. Welcome back to Stan Sheriff Center. A whiteout for this first round matchup between Hawaii and Northern Colorado. Well, the NCAA tournament got underway for some teams yesterday and continued today. We're looking at the bracket from the top left, and we'll go down there. You see the scores: number 1 seed Baylor, no problem. SC Marquette and Purdue winners. And there you see how they all advance. So the winner of Marquette Purdue will play the winner of Baylor and USC. Other scores, seeded Kentucky easily wins. South Carolina beats Colorado State in 5. Colorado State had not lost a match since the first match of the season. And there you see Washington easily up 2-0 on Winthrop. And so the bracket for that is a good matchup. Kentucky, Michigan, South Carolina will more than likely play the University of Washington. Other scores: Nebraska, which is in Hawaii's bracket, in 3. Missouri, who Hawaii beat earlier this year, they win in 3. San Diego earlier here won in 4. And of course you have Hawaii and Northern Colorado. And so Nebraska and Missouri in Lincoln tomorrow, and hopefully Hawaii and San Diego in Honolulu tomorrow. Texas A&M, Rice, UCLA, a team Hawaii beat this year, and Wisconsin all winners. And so they will make it like this: Texas A&M and Rice. Texas A&M has already beaten Rice, so they'll play the winner of UCLA, Wisconsin. If Wisconsin wins, they will host next week the winner of tomorrow night's match here in Honolulu. Upper right corner, there you have Stanford, Cal Poly in 5 over Georgia, Utah in 5 over Illinois, and BYU in Provo takes it at New Mexico State. So you have Cal Poly taking on Stanford. And how about that? BYU and Utah. You don't think the NCAA committee was thinking about anything there? How about Penn State? They have probably the easiest path as they always do, to the Sweet 16. They beat Princeton. They'll play Towson next. Cincinnati defeats VCU. And Pittsburgh, a lot of folks thought should have got a higher seed, win. So Penn State will play Towson, and Cincinnati will play in Pittsburgh. Finally, Minnesota, Creighton, Central Florida, and Florida all advance. Central Florida with maybe a bit of an upset. So in Minneapolis, Minnesota will play Creighton, and UCF, Florida has knocked them off. That's a Thursday, Friday. And so Florida awaits the winner of Minnesota and Creighton. Here's the final bracket. Western Kentucky. Now, I read that Western Kentucky lost online earlier. I must have misread it. Louisville, UC Santa Barbara, and Texas have advanced, and they lost today. Okay, so that was from yesterday. So Louisville did knock off Western Kentucky. Texas got by Santa Barbara in 5 earlier today. And so those two teams will meet up in Austin next week. Alrighty, there you see Jolie Rasmussen cleared to participate. We'll come back and have more from the corner. Northern Colorado out of the Big Sky Conference. They are the champions, both regular season and tournament. Here are their to-go players.
And Kylie Joan Mintz doing a great job leading her team. She was the MVP of the Big Sky tournament last week, and as well as Taylor Muff and Lauren Perkins. Those are the players to watch. But I'll tell you what, this team is undersized, but they're quick and they serve bullets.
All right, fire up those engines. Time now for the peak performance, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. I want you guys to look into your crystal ball. Tell me who will be the peak performer for either team, should it be tonight?
Well, I think for Hawaii, it's going to be Noreen Yosia. She can score points, of course, from behind the service line and offensively as well. I think she's going to have to have a big match. And for Northern Colorado, I'm going to go with Huff. I think she's going to be the X factor for them.
And I'm just going to go with one player, and I think that's going to be Amber Igd. I think that she's going to post a huge block tonight. I think emotionally she leads her team. When she lights up, the rest of the team lights up as well.
Hawaii's been winning a long time. The host all the way back to 2013. Near capacity, all in white. The three of us will be back after this one's foul. But coming up next, the match.
Versus the number 12 seed Big West Conference champion, the 18th ranked Hawaii, Rainbow Wahine. Let's meet the visiting team, the Northern Colorado Bears. First, their reserves. Number 1, Maddie Bremer. Number 2, Laura Katarzinski. Number 8, Michaela Boone. Number 11, McKenna Palmer. Number 13, Mackenzie Harris. Number 16, Kaylee Jo Ince. And number 17, McKenna Shaka. Now for their starting lineup. A 5'6" sophomore defensive specialist from Sterling, Colorado, number 4, Kendall Feather. A 5'11" junior outside hitter from Pittsburgh, Kansas, number 5, Taylor Muff. A 5'6" senior libero from Lincoln, Nebraska, floor captain, number 6, Taylor Ells. 5'9" junior setter from Greenwood Village, Colorado, co-captain number 7, Daisy Schultz. 6'1" junior middle blocker from Donovan, Nebraska, number 10, Lauren Heinrichs. 6'2" freshman middle blocker from Cascade, Wisconsin, number 14, Cece Hoon. And 6'1" junior outside hitter from Chadron, Nebraska, number 15, Jaden McCartney. The assistant coach is Kendra Cunningham. From Honolulu, John Haruguchi. From Kaupa'a, Kauai, PEIU. Head coach for the Bears, 'Lindsay' Oates. Now let's meet the home team, the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. First, the reserves, number 1, Kyra Hanawahine. Number 4, Kamale Cruz. Number 6, Riley Wagner. Number 7, Bailey Choi. Number 9, Kirsten Sibley. Number 11, Tiffany Westerberg. Number 14, Waylon Akana. And number 18, Jolie Rasmussen. Now for their starting lineup. 5'9" junior outside hitter from Battleground, Washington. Number 2, Brooke Van Sickle. 6'3" freshman middle blocker from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Number 3, Amber Igidi. 6'1" junior middle blocker from Bellflower, California. Number 8, Skylar Williams. 5'11" senior center and outside hitter from Torrance, California. Floor captain, number 10, Noreen Yosia. 5'5" junior libero from Honolulu, number 16, Rika Okino. 6'2" freshman outside hitter from Lidingö, Stockholm, Sweden, number 17, Hannah Helvig. And the 5'10" senior outside hitter from Aliso Viejo, California, number 20, McKenna Ross. The volunteer assistant is Puna Canijo. Assistant coach, Kaleo Baxter. Associate coach, Angelica Ljungqvist. Head coach for the Rainbow Wahine, Robin Amo.
Its medal throughout the 2019 season, 18th ranked Hawaii was rewarded a 12 seed and hosting rights to open the NCAA tournament. All year, the Rainbow Wahine have followed the lead of Player of the Year in the Big West, Noreen Yosia, and Conference Freshman of the Year, Hannah Helvig. Coming up, it's first round action between the Big Sky Conference champions, Northern Colorado, and the best in the Big West, Hawaii. And with that, we welcome you inside the Stan Sheriff Center, a fairly packed SSC, as a matter of fact. Kanoa Leahy here courtside with Chris McLaughlin. C-Mac, take us through the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match.
Well, for the Bears, it's first contact. When the Bears get a good first pass, they can have a hard-to-defend offense, crossing attackers everywhere. And for Hawaii, patience is a virtue. The University of Northern Colorado may dig a lot of balls and run a lot of confusing plays on offense, but only with patience will the Wahine have a better chance to prevail.
There you see a whiteout here at the Stan Sheriff Center for the opening round of the NCAA tournament. Hawaii hosting for the first time since 2013, and Noreen Yosia, the Big West Conference Player of the Year, getting things started. And how about that statement to begin the match?
That's Noreen. Somebody asked me today, what will you remember most about Noreen Yosia? I said, you know what, the first thing that comes to my mind is her jump serve and all of her aces.
Yeah, 7 of them, in fact, on senior night. Another blitzing serve, but this one will be played back by Northern Colorado. And Taylor Muff, 5'11" junior from Pittsburgh, Kansas, second on the team, 3.1 kills per set, hitting a .91 clip.
She's known as their Swiss Army knife. She can play anywhere on the court and has played on every position except for middle blocker.
That's right, 6 rotation player, all Big Sky first team. Hawaii goes outside. It's Hannah Helvig trying to take the line, took a little too much line, misses the floor wide, and the Bears on top. 2-1. Northern Colorado comes in 26-7 overall. 17-1 is the record they finished in the Big Sky with. The regular season and Big Sky tournament champions. Hawaii out of system, and a free opportunity here for the Bears. They go outside, and it's Muff again, blasts it deep corner, and a strong start here for the Bears.
You know, when Muff gets a set on the outside with a split block or just one blocker, she can have a field day. Love to go cross court.
So 3 serving 1 early. It's Rico Aquino on the pass, tight to the net. Middle set goes to Amber Igidi. She misses the floor wide, goes OB. And it is 4 serving 1 Bears, and Robin Amo wants none of it. She signals for a timeout to talk things over. Welcome back. Series record is sponsored by Aqua Aston Hospitality. They have only met one time previously, and interestingly enough, CMAC, it came on this floor in the NCAA tournament when Hawaii hosted back in 2011. The Rainbow Wahine winning that one 3-0, quickly finding themselves down 4-1 here in the first frame. High ball outside goes to Helvig, over a triple block, and she gets it down in front of Kendall Feather. Now, we asked the question in the pregame, right? Hawaii, a sparse schedule towards the end of the regular season. So a lot of rest time, but that also introduces the potential of rust. Are we seeing any of that, you think?
Absolutely. You know, for Helvig to hit a ball out and Amber Igidi to hit a ball out in the first 4 points, very unusual.
Good touch there on the block on the Muff swing. McKenna Ross from the outside. That one dug up by Feather in the back row. They go back row set to Jaden McCartney, and she is denied access. Amber Igidi in the thick of things.
I watched Amber the last couple days in practice. No signs of rust from Amber Igidi. She was absolute beast at the net.
Team leader in blocks and blocks per set, was tops in the Big West Conference in that category. In fact, a Big West Conference first team selection, Amber Igidi, and that goes for her middle counterpart, Skylar Williams, as well. That ball hits the pin, and so Hawaii quickly out of the timeout, a 3-0 run. The Rainbow Wahine coming in Big West champs for the first time since 2016. 24-3 overall. They finished the league 14-2. Bump set goes right side to Helvig off the block. And the Bears will play it back. They go middle to Lauren Heinrichs. She's dug up. Quick middle set to Igidi, and little patty cake match above the tape. Heinrichs on the slide, and she goes off the block and down. Lauren Heinrichs, a good one, 6'1", redshirt junior, a transfer initially from Wichita State.
She's been the #1 middle attacker all year. Likes to hit slides and quicks. All Big Sky, second team this year, and hits for the highest kill percentage. She won't make many mistakes.
That's right, .315 percentage for Heinrichs. That was a good-looking slug by Helvig. Caught that one flush, and we're tied at 5 apiece.
We might see a few more sets go to Helvig tonight because the last 2 matches, she was not the go-to player. Everybody else got in on the act, which really took a lot of pressure off her, but I sense that come NCAA time now, she's going to see a few more sets than everybody else.
Kyra Hanawahine sends the serve into the twine. We saw the entrance to the match for Kaylee Jo Ince, 6'1" sophomore. Actually, the team's leading hitter, 3.86 kills per set, off of the bench, interestingly enough.
They call her KJ, the Hammer.
Yosia chases down the set. Goes to Ross. She's blocked back. Good cover there by Brooke Van Sickle. How about that back set to the left side by Yosia? But Ross was blocked, and then putting the finishing touches on that above the tape was KJ Ince.
Net violation. I think she caught a little bit of cable along with her on her follow through. Hence, point for Hawaii.
So 6 serving 6 here in set number 1. Bailey Choi, one of the seniors, celebrated a couple of weekends ago. A fantastic senior night celebration. Forced the pass tight to the net, but a good job there. But an ad-lib by Daisy Schultz. She is the Big Sky MVP, led the league in assists. In fact, ranked 12th in the NCAA come the end of the regular season in assists.
Might have been an out ball there. I'll tell you, Northern Colorado takes no prisoners when it comes to serving.
That's right. Outside, the block is up on it. She'll get a second crack at it. Took a little something off. It's pinballed around, but it'll be a lift call against Hawaii. And so a point for Northern Colorado, and they are up 2 here, 8-6. And that is the scout on the Bears. They led the Big Sky Conference in aces. They have a significant ability to score from the service line. They go long there, but we have already seen on several occasions Hawaii out of system, C-Mac.
Yeah, they really serve the ball at a fast pace, and they take their chances from, they're risk takers from behind that service line.
And that serve goes long by McKenna Ross.
That one caught a wind current. This went flying out of bounds. You see, again, there's an example of over-adrenalization. You know, I think we saw a little bit of it with Igidi, her first it out. We saw a little bit of it with Helvig, her first it out. And then we see McKenna Ross's service out. Just a little bit too excited. They need to calm down.
Here's Yosia from the opposite side, just slices it thin.
That's a little beach roll right there. That's her, you know, she went up and played beach volleyball at the end of last year. Really helped that team to get to the NCAAs and play well in the NCAAs with shots like that.
She was funny. It was a spirited and emotional senior night, as it always tends to be, but especially for Noreen Yosia, a 4-year player. And then she was asked about hosting again here to start the NCAA tournament as Cece Hoon, a 6'2" freshman, puts it down for the Bears. And she said, it kind of feels like, oh, we got to do that all over again? Because they went through the whole symbolic aloha, but obviously the team very happy to be in the familiar confines of the SSC. Taylor Els, the libero, with the serve. High ball goes opposite side to Yosia. Good save there by Els down the line. Here's McCartney off the Hawaii block and out for another Northern Colorado point. Bears came to play here in this opening frame, C-Mac.
Jane McCartney playing on that right side. Tough player, injured all year long, but she is just one tough cookie. Keeps coming back out, helping this team.
Choi goes outside, Van Sickle. Oh, she gobbled up the line. The block had moved towards the middle of the floor, and Brooke, who levitates when she takes off, was able to hover and see it.
Great peripheral vision for Brooke to see those two blockers lined up on her cross court, which is the easiest shot to do. Instead, she goes back down the line, shows she has that shot in her repertoire as well.
Van Sickle, one of 3 transfers from Oregon, averaging 2.24 kills per set. McCartney down the line, missed it wide, trying to avoid the block. And that's a point for Hawaii. They're within 1.
Rico Aquino did a nice job of putting her left foot on the line, making sure she knew exactly where she was. And then when the ball went to her left, it was out of bounds.
Here's Yosia again from the service line. Great pass there by Els. Middle set Heinrichs, 2-hand save Yosia. From her knees, Okina sets up Helvig. And Helvig obliges, and this first set is tied at 11.
Oh, clutch bump set by Rico Aquino. Not an easy thing to do when the ball's spinning like that off a dig, but Aquino put it right on the money where Helvig likes it.
3-0 Rainbow Wahine run. We're tied for the 5th time already in this opening set. Here it comes again from Noreen. Forces the overpass. Igidi slams it home, and Hawaii jumps in front.
And she's the first to congratulate, as she should, Noreen Yosia, who really did all the hard work there. Amber's the first one to admit that she had the easy job, just jump up and put it down.
Noreen Yosia, all Big West Conference first team selection all 4 years in her career, which is just amazing. That one narrowly missed that end line and deep corner. And so it will be a side out at point for Northern Colorado. Here's McCartney, the junior from Chadron, Nebraska. 27 aces on the year. Little knuckleball serve. Here's Brooke Van Sickle, the twist in the middle, and that's dug up nicely by Els. The dump shot, pancake save, Yosia. And it's going to be a net violation called against Hawaii, even though it appeared that Daisy Schultz had actually fallen across the middle line. And so that's going to be a point for the Bears, despite a mild protest from Robin Amo, and now concern for Schultz because she may have been stepped on there by Igidi. Oh, there it goes. It was actually Aijidi's foot that went across the line first. Schultz came down on it, and that is always a precarious situation, C-Mac.
Yeah, and Schultz, their most valuable player in the league. Touches every other ball, so critical to their offense and their team's success. We just hope that her ankle gets better with a little bit of rest here.
I mean, already led the league in assists, was one of the national leaders in that category. She appears to be okay. It looks as though she is going to continue. But how good was she in the Big Sky tournament? It was an all-tournament team selection, but she averages 11.47 assists per set throughout the season. She put that up to 13.38 in the Big Sky tourney.
High volleyball IQ too, by the way. You know why? Youngest of 7. Volleyball in the backyard every night. They have a 6-man team every night in the backyard.
Is that why she wears number 7? Because that was
good question.
The number she was in the Ohana there?
Yes.
Walking gingerly, but it appears as though she's going to stick it out. So 13 serving 12, and it will be Jaden McCartney, flat-footed, sends it over. You'll see a high and away to Helvig. Block got a small touch on it. Dug up by Feather. Outside, it's Muff. That's dug up by Yosia. So Okino, back blind bump set to Helvig. And we're going to have a net violation against the Bears. So trading blows here throughout the first half of this opening set. We're tied for the 7th time.
Robin Amo said earlier this week she was not going to look past this Northern Colorado team, despite the fact they've been from the Big Sky Conference, not one of the power conferences. They're respecting every opponent, and Northern Colorado is certainly playing like a team that needs to be respected.
Well, respecting the slide that time was Amber Aijidi and McKenna Ross, and I think Amber got the gist of it again, and a very typical Amber Aijidi celebration. Actually, looked like Ross got the first touch on it, and Aijidi sort of finished it off.
Exactly.
Outside, it's Muff. Block, good touch there. Layout save, Van Sickle. Here's Helvig from the opposite side. Touches it over. Els takes on the setting responsibilities. Muff, cross court, dug up by Okino. Yosia, back row set. Van Sickle swoops in for the kill.
Is there a trampoline behind that 3-meter line? It looked like a trampoline she jumped off. Watch this. Brooke Van Sickle. Here's earlier in the play.
Welcome back. You see Daisy Schultz, the setter for Northern Colorado. They actually removed the ankle brace that she was wearing, as well as her shoes, and they're reinforcing the take job. They put the brace on top of that, and she is back out there sticking it through after appearing to roll her ankle coming down on Amber Aijidi.
Kudos to the trainer. He had to do that in under 60 seconds.
That's right.
Cool.
It was like a pit stop at the Indy 500.
It was.
As Van Sickle out of the timeout goes long with it on the serve. Thoughts on the Bears here and the showing that they've posted so far?
I'm impressed with the way they're playing. Everything that they were set up to be, like they've got great serving. We've seen that so far.
And they're going to call a back row attacker on Noreen Yosia. And Robin Amo is going to argue that the ball was still on the Hawaii side. Now the officiating crew here tonight, we have Kevin Cole, Kylie Kimura, the R1 and R2 respectively, Wes Kawachi, Dean Tamura, the line judges. So we're tied again here. Here's Helvig from the opposite position. Oh, she jumped a little early and swung on it while she was coming down, caught it fat. And it goes long. So another point for the Bears. They jump in front. This is a feisty battle here in this opening frame.
I'm a little surprised that Hawaii hasn't gone to the middles more. It has some pretty good passes. There's a middle attack. That would make it easier on the outside hitters if the middle is used more early. We'll see if Sky Williams gets some sets in her 3 rotations here up front.
It's as if you're familiar with this game.
Kind of played it before a little bit, coached it a little bit.
Well, we're tied again. 16 serving 16, Hana Wahine. Soft touches it over, the slide. That's Heinrich's blocked back. Back row set goes to McCartney. Hawaii will play it the other way. Middle set goes to Sky Williams. Sends it long. Got the touch, though. And that's a point for the Rainbow Wahine. They lead 17-16.
Sky got a little bit lucky there. There wasn't a sharp connection. I think Hawaii's got to really be careful about the number of self-inflicted wounds they incur due to the what I call over-adrenalization, if that's a word.
KJ Ince blasting it off the block and down. So we're tied again. We've had 7 lead changes in this thing, 10 ties. In other words, it has been a seesaw back and forth, closely contested opening frame. Hawaii hitting .250 compared to $160 for Northern Colorado, but they have been tough from the service line as advertised. Case in point. Great pancake save by Helvig. At least that was the thought for a moment. The whistle is blown after the fact, and they will say that that in fact touched the Terraflex. Good effort nonetheless by Helvig, but again, credit the serve for Northern Colorado. Laura Katarzinski with the serve. Here is Helvig. The up in the back row, only for a moment though by Taylor Muff, and that's another kill for Hana. That will be her 5th of this opening frame.
She's gone from being a 6-rotation player to a 3-rotation player. And I think those, so Hawaii's losing her as a back row attacker is the biggest loss there. I can see them going back to having her go 6 rotations at some point though.
High ball outside, it's Ince, dug up by Okino. Ross blocked back and roofed. Smothered. C.C. Hoon, the freshman, was the middle blocker on that one. And it was Daisy Schultz catching the pin side of it.
Solid block, forehands across. Not many holes in that block.
Right side. Ross able to catch the sideline. And a much-needed rip that time by McKenna Ross. Big West Conference honorable mention this year, first time she's received conference postseason honor.
And well-deserved. And I love the way she shows a lot of confidence going back down this line after just getting blocked.
Outside, and that is Muff. Make that Jaden McCartney stand corrected. 1.86 kills per set. Pretty widespread and evenly distributed offensive attack so far for Northern Colorado.
Very definitely.
5 players with 2 kills apiece, and there is the nasty service ace. Courtesy Kindle Feather. That is her 50th ace of the season. Led the team with 49 through the regular year, and that prompts a timeout signaled by Robin Amo as Hawaii finds themselves down a pair as we take another look at the ace.
Hawaii knew this team would be a good serving team, so there's no surprises here. This team serves tough, but you never know on balls that drop like that when they just get over the net. Those are really tough to handle, tough to judge. I don't expect that Hawaii will get aced back-to-back. Robin's designing a nice play right now, as you can tell. She wants her team to come out strong after the timeout.
Well, let's check out the first Hawaiian Bank top 3. And we're looking at all-time NCAA Division I championship tournament appearances. Stanford and Penn State tied for tops all-time, 39 apiece. Hawaii tied for 3rd with 38. And if it wasn't for the anomaly that was 1992, the one year that Hawaii did not make the dance, under longtime legendary head coach Dave Shoji.
Should we just go ask him right now what happened?
Yeah,
let's go ask him. Dave, what happened in 92?
All right, let's send it over to Ryan.
Hey, thanks, guys. Well, here on the sideline for Northern Colorado, it's interesting. They start out the timeout, which each team members and each group positioning talking to each other. So the setters talk together, the middles and the outsides, they all spend the first part of the timeout giving feedback to each other. Then they meet with the coaches, and the coaching staff just told them, we need to continue to hit high hands, challenge that block for Hawaii, and when Hawaii is hitting, don't let them use you. They say Hawaii's outside hitters are small. They're known to use blockers. Don't let them use you. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Lindsay Oates, 15th season atop the program. Big Sky Coach of the Year this season for the 4th time in her tenure. Oversaw the program's transition into Division I and the Big Sky Conference back in 2006. And they lead by 2 right now. Van Sickle misses wide. And all of a sudden, Hawaii trailing by 3 here in the first set. A 3-0 run here for the Bears, and some anxiety now flowing through the building. Good pass there by Okino, middle set. Williams finds that deep corner. So Sky strikes again for her second kill. And it's a 2-point contest in the first.
I think we may see more balls going to the middle attackers, since Hawaii's pin attackers are struggling a little bit now finding the court.
You saw Sky Williams' hitting percentage just gaudy, 388. And a beautiful serve by Rika Okino. She had 12 service aces throughout the regular season. That one looked like it got shot out of the air as it crossed the net, and Hawaii within 1, forcing a Northern Colorado timeout.
Well, that was a much-needed ace right there. Hawaii falling down 21-19. Here's the ace by Rika as it goes over and just drops, as you said, got like a bird that got shot out of the air and dove, fell to the ground. But again, one of the reasons, there's a couple of reasons why Hawaii's in a predicament right now. One is the 2-week layoff. There's been some misconnections, some missed shots, some self-inflicted wounds. The other is the University of Northern Colorado has played some good volleyball. They're serving really tough. Outside attackers are doing a good job of tooling our end blockers and keeping the ball in play. And that's what's made for a tough start here for Robin Amo and her squad.
Hey, 26 wins for Northern Colorado. That sets the program's Division I history record. They're riding 12 straight wins coming into this one, so you're absolutely on point. They've been playing some good volleyball. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Heineken. And the number here is 1. The NCAA sub-regionals with 3 AVCA top 25 teams. That's right, this is the only one in the whole tournament. You have 18th ranked Hawaii, number 20 San Diego, which earlier this evening took down number 23 Washington State in 4. And I'll tell you, San Diego looks absolutely formidable, especially with the addition of Grace Froling, a 6'5" freshman pin hitter who had 17 kills against the Cougars earlier, who, by the way, did not play when San Diego and Hawaii met to open the season this year, a match won in 5 sets by the Rainbow Wahine.
Yeah, so that's good. San Diego is a very good team. I watched them practice this week, and they were very, very sharp, especially yesterday in practice. They looked really, really good. I wasn't surprised by their win tonight.
So 21 serving 22. Okino gets it across. Outside, the set goes to Muff. Good touch by the block, dug up to the net by Okino. Little patty cake back and forth. Hawaii now with it. Van Sickle through the double block. That's dug up by Feather. Bump set goes to Muff on the outside. On 2 knees, that one is dug up by Ross. Van Sickle from off the net. Right there is Els. Bears again in transition. Muff a 3rd time blocked. Kept alive by Schultz. Muff has to try to get it across. She does. Free chance for Hawaii. Aijiri with the smackdown.
There's an example of Hawaii being patient. Like I said they had to do at the beginning of the show. I said Hawaii's got to be patient. In that rally, they just stayed within themselves until the end when they knew they had a great shot. And Amber Aijide is about as big a force in the middle as we'll see anybody in this tournament.
3-point run for Hawaii. We're tied for the 13th time in this first set. Muff off the hands and down. They just keep on working it to Taylor Muff.
She's so, she's such a great athlete. In high school, she was an all-state hurdle champion in the 100 and 300 all 4 years. Amazing.
23 serving 22. And that is going to be returned. How? I still don't know. Aijiri with the layout pass. Good save there by Choi. So Hawaii in transition. It's Van Sickle through the block and down. That was incredible. Amber Aijiri able to keep the sequence alive.
This may be, look at that layout by Aijiri. Van Sickle finding the hole in the block, but Amber Aijiri so far, the play of the night right there. They lose that one, they go down 22-24. That's set point for Northern Colorado.
Absolutely right. A potential set-saving play there on the layout by Amber Aijiri. Good second touch by Van Sickle as well. Here's Yosia. Took a little something off. Els the pass. High ball outside. It's Muff. And that one didn't get above the tape. Either way, it's going to be a point for Hawaii. And it is aloha ball for the Rainbow Wahine in the first.
That's a big block up there. Igini at 6'3", Helbig at 6'3". That's a solid, as big a block as Hawaii can put up right now.
You're going to give Hawaii the block there. And the crowd claps. Yosia brings it. A hot serve, good pass by Muff. They go right side. It's McCartney off the block and out. And that will temper things momentarily. We got ourselves an extended opening frame.
They run a back quick to McCartney. First time they've run that play all night. Pretty gutsy set.
15th tie of this first stanza. Two-hand pass, Van Sickle. One-hand set, Yosia. The dink by Igini, batted around and returned early. Here's Helbig with the swing. Good save by McCartney down the line. Middle set, it's Heinrichs. One-hand save, Yosia. Ross sets up Van Sickle off one leg. Makes it work.
That was such a difficult ball to hit. Brooke Van Sickle, the ball coming over her head. And somehow or another, she had a one-step takeoff. That was crazy. It's like there's going to be a challenge.
I believe there will be a challenge. They're going to look to see if there is a net violation committed by Hawaii on that last sequence. Kimura putting the headset on.
You know, it's awkward here in challenges like this. Kimura is the one who's supposed to call the net violation, if there is one, more so than the R1, the top referee. So now she's got to look at a replay where she might have to correct herself, her own call.
And that's often been a criticism of replay in general across the landscape of sports, right? Is you know, they call it a challenge. You're basically challenging the official's ruling, and so that always has a tendency to not sit so well sometimes with officiating crews. But I think everyone, by and large, is in the same boat. We want to see the proper and appropriate call made. But it is, as you mentioned, a bit awkward.
So far, I have not seen any net violations or anything that would construe a net violation. Right there, that might be the closest one right there.
It does appear as though the net's shaking a little bit. And so that could be a clue, but is it conclusive enough becomes the question.
You know, sometimes the net is shaking because a ball has hit it earlier, and so that shaking goes on for a while. I don't think it was shaking because of anybody that hit the net.
Well, how big is this? It's either Aloha Ball Hawaii or Aloha Ball Northern Colorado in the first.
I think it's Aloha Ball Hawaii. I'm just gambling, guessing.
You are correct, sir. You are in postseason form, my friend.
I did the best I could. I warmed up today and everything, you know. Called a little bit of the Washington State San Diego game with Tip Wells. He was nice enough to let me come on board for a set, so I feel like I am ready.
And so here we go. The crowd clapping. Hawaii trying to close the deal in the first. Here's Muff. Blocked and rope. Amber Igini next to Hana Helbig saying, "A'ole." And the Rainbow Wahine take set number one, 26-24 from a very game and very competitive Northern Colorado Bears team. They'll swap sides, set two of the NCAA tournament coming up.
This presentation of Rainbow Wahine Volleyball is sponsored by Bank of Hawaii and Hawaii Honda Dealers.
Well, Hawaii hit 278 as a team in the first frame. C-Mac, Hana Helbig leading the way with 5 kills.
5 kills, a couple errors, got a little bit over anxious, but most of her swings pretty quality. Had 11 swings. Looks like Yosia and Bailey Choi unafraid to go to Hana here early tonight. Watch for the setting to be more well distributed, though, I think, in this set. Watch for the middles to get more sets. And look at that block up front. Hawaii with 4 blocks to Northern Colorado's 1.
A doozy of a set one. Saw 8 lead changes, 15 ties, and Hawaii able to squeak it out in the end, 26-24. How important was it for them to win that opening frame here?
I think it was huge. I think to dig a hole in the first set of the night, it really makes it tough. Plus, they've got San Diego sitting at home watching, and and they're resting, and they're hoping Hawaii has a 5-gamer. So Hawaii doesn't want to go 5 if they can help it. But all credit to Northern Colorado that time.
Absolutely.
They played great volleyball, and they could have easily won that one.
I don't anticipate it getting any easier from Hawaii's vantage point. That's for sure, not against this competitive Bears squad. UH Athletics reaches out to you online each week with updates and promotions through its H-Mail e-newsletter. To register, visit hawaiiathletics.com and click on the H-Mail button. It's simple and it's free.
We're going to give some shouts out to the guys who had the game plan for this. PEIU and John Haraguchi. PEIU, the Kamehameha grad, 1982. John Haraguchi, Punahou grad, he was 81 from Kamehameha. John Haraguchi, 92 from Punahou. There was actually some 92 grads in the crowd that came just to see John coaching in the big time in the Stan Sheriff Center.
Yeah.
They did a great job. Those two, I know, did a lot of the game planning for that first set, for sure.
Yeah, homecoming for a couple of the staff members for Northern Colorado. Gidi got the first kill, second one goes just long, no touch up front. So a point for Northern Colorado. I like this little known fact though about John Haraguchi is that he was your student when you were teaching the 3rd grade.
Yeah.
You were obviously just a student teacher at the time.
No, I was a regular teacher at the time.
There's a look at IU on the left and Haraguchi on the right. Scramble play here by Hawaii Ross from the back row. Bears go outside to Muff. That goes off the block and out. And so just like the first set, Hawaii scored first, and then Northern Colorado immediately took the lead.
Nice set that time from Daisy Schultz, the MVP in the Big Sky.
Serve by McCartney. Good up there by Okino. Oh, but a mistimed set. Nobody home in the back row. Chance here for the Bears. Muff through the double block and down. And another moment of miscommunication and or disarray on the Hawaii side of the net.
Again, that might be a little bit from the layoff. Could be just maybe some nervousness. But how about the swing by Taylor Muff? She's got one great arm swing.
You'll see a outside Helvig straight down to the floor. She went OTT that time. Gets her 6th kill.
Remember, she's only a 3-rotation player now, not playing in the back row. So when she comes in, she's got a fresh arm and some fresh legs.
So here is Brooke Van Sickle, 19 aces on the year. Big West Conference honorable mention this season. Hawaii cleaning house in the postseason awards in league this year. Here's Ross. A little extra chili pepper water behind that one, but unfortunately sent it long.
You hear the crowd that time moaning in the set of Daisy Schultz. They thought it was a double contact. And this crowd, if any crowd in the country, probably is as knowledgeable as anyone. And they knew that a set might or should have been called. There was an out ball taken.
And here's an ace by Taylor Muff. She had 37 aces in the regular season, and that was good enough for just 3rd on the team. That gives you a sense of just how tough this Northern Colorado squad is behind the service line. 1.6 aces per set. Timeout, Bows. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the Jack Facts. Taking home the Big West hardware in droves for sure. Coach of the Year, Robin Amo. Player of the Year, Noreen. You'll see a Frosh of the Year, Hannah Helvig. And then on the first team, you'll see a Helvig, Igidi, and Williams. Then you had a slew of honorable mentions in addition. In the case of Robin Amo, she was officially a co-coach of the year in conference with Ashley Preston of Cal State Fullerton as McKenna Ross unleashes on that set out of the timeout, and Hawaii a much needed point.
Before that, Hawaii's offense sputtering, hitting 0-0-0, 2 kills, 2 errors, and siding out at 40%, not a good number. Meantime, Northern Colorado hitting 667 and siding out at 100%.
Hana Wahine with the serve for Hawaii, trailing by 2. Outside, it goes to Joe Ince. Outside, Ross gets it down again. That's back-to-back kills for McKenna Ross.
I love the way McKenna's hitting the ball high and hard. She's not trying to bring the ball down in the court. She knows where the block is. She's keeping her elbow high and snapping high. Actually almost trying to go over the block, even though she's only a 5'10"er with great hops.
Here's Ince again. How about the forearm save by Josie. Ross a third time. Good save in the back row there by the Bears, and then Ince just blasts it by the Hawaii block. Good dig on that sequence by Taylor Muff in the back row.
KJ Ince. You know, I was told that they would not have won that Big Sky tournament were it not for her. She had a phenomenal final match, 24 kills. Amazing.
And it was recognized as the tourney MVP. They tried to go crossing pattern in the middle to Helvig, couldn't put it down. Slide a little off target, pancake save Okino. Ross two hands it over, diving pass there by Katarzyński, and then Ince is blocked back. Katarzyński to cover, Ince a second time. Now we're gonna have a whistle against Hawaii, a net violation. And that'll be another point for Northern Colorado. They open it up to a 3-point advantage.
Okino out there just getting her hand between the Terraflex and the ball. And Colorado scoring again. They're picking up a 3-point lead now. Rerun of the first game.
Pump set goes to Ross from off the net. Had to just roll shot it across. Here's Ince again. The block hadn't formed, and she makes Hawaii pay. KJ Ince living up to her stats. 3.86 kills per set, tops on the team, hitting 278, and Hawaii didn't have any resistance against that one.
Block late getting out there, mostly because I think Sky Williams was concerned about a couple of other hitters.
How about 3 straight putdowns for Ince? Van Sickle had a couple of Bears defenders looking at one another. Much needed side out and point for the Rainbow Wahine. Good job by Northern Colorado, wouldn't you say? After certainly feeling like they let the first set go to Hawaii, bouncing back, and here they are in a pretty prime position early on in the second.
Exactly, great resilience, good bounce back.
Choi with the serve. High ball goes to Ince. She had to try to backhand it. The placement wasn't there that time out of the palms of Schultz. And a freebie gift of a point for the Bows.
This is why I said one of the keys to the game for Northern Colorado is first contact. If they get a good first pass, their offense can be very dangerous. If the ball's passed off past the 3-meter line, Hawaii's block can get lined up. There's a good pass.
Here's Ince flying in, blocked back, rattled around, it won't be returned. A stout roof that time for the Rainbow Wahine. Hawaii now with 5 total team blocks compared to 1 for Northern Colorado. Bears don't put up a lot of blocking numbers. They were actually 10th in the Big Sky in blocks. There are 11 teams in that conference, and a 4-0 run is Northern Colorado all of a sudden hitting some rocky turf.
Kind of unusual because they typically do not self-destruct, have self-inflicted wounds. They're pretty steady.
Oh, mistimed middle set. Free chance here for Hawaii. Can they cash in? Ross obliterates it. And Hawaii jumps in front after scoring 5 straight. And that prompts a Northern Colorado timeout. Topsy-turvy, set number 2 here early on. Welcome back. Visit the new Spectrum store at Pearl Highland Center above Sam's Club. Learn about Spectrum Mobile and get the best devices, latest technology, and coolest accessories. The store is open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. Sundays, 10 to 6. Well, Hawaii has scored 5 in a row to take the 9-8 lead here in set number 2. And Maddie Bremer, a reserve middle, 6-foot sophomore from Prior Lake, Minnesota, into the match. She's actually the team leader in blocks. Did not get the start here this evening. Nice job reading that dump shot attempt by Williams, and then Ince, did she get a piece? She did get a touch. And so Northern Colorado, the point out of the timeout. And Robin Amo is going to challenge that one. So we'll take a look at that. It seemed pretty immediate, the reaction by KJ Ince, that there was a touch, not a huge debate to that by the players on the floor for Hawaii, but Robin Amo certainly was interested in taking another look at this. That would have been Yosia it appears, getting the touch if there was one. No touch call by the line judge, interestingly enough. It was Kevin Cole, the R1,
exactly.
who took it upon himself to call.
Yeah, he's right there about 4 feet away, so if anybody's going to hear the touch or know about a touch, it's going to be him and Noreen Yosia and the attacker. Is that McCartney? No.
That's Ince.
Ince, yeah. Those are the 3 people that really know what the truth is.
And in a situation like this, postseason, you're taking that to the grave with you. You're not showing your cards here. All right, well, not enough there, I would imagine. We'll see the official call is here from Kylie Kimura. Long discussion with the officials table. And the call will stand. We're tied at 9 here in set 2. Crowd doesn't like it. Can you tell?
I think the crowd is not happy with that call.
Schultz with the serve. May have been an out ball played by Ross, and that is an ace for Daisy Schultz. Ace 21 of those in the regular season.
Ace number 3 on the night. So Northern Colorado's serving prowess is coming to reality.
Ross is roofed, stuffed by Ince and Bremer. How about the substitution by Lindsay Oates, bringing Bremer in, the team leader in blocks, and there next to Ince, immediately paying dividends. Hawaii trailing by a deuce. Here's Ross. 2-hand save there by Els. Ince slaps it across. Good save, Okino. Middle set, Williams. A little too hot to handle that time for Taylor Els.
I like that transition play. Off a dig, off a down ball dig. Boy gets it up to the net. Close enough for Bailey Choi to set Sky Williams. The connection between those two is almost always perfect.
Yeah, for Sky Williams, it's not necessarily about quantity, it is about quality, and she is 3 for 3 in kills so far tonight as Ince comes flying in for that kill. DJ Ince putting in work, 7 kills to lead Northern Colorado.
Crossing play by Ince there. Middle attacker goes out to the pin. Ince comes around. That's what they call an X2 pattern.
Good serve again. Amazing pass, and it lines up a behind-the-head middle set. Choi to Williams for the crush.
Well, Bailey Choi, after 3 years in the Pac-12, sitting at the University of Utah, knows where her middle attackers are all the time.
Crowd quiets as Rika Okino brings it over. They go right side. McCartney dug up by Yosia. Bump set, back row, it's Ross. 2 hands it across, saved by Schultz. So high ball bump set goes to Muff off the block and out. Taylor Muff with her 6th put down. And Colorado hitting 263 here in this second frame compared to 294 for Hawaii, but they lead by 2. That helps the Rainbow Wahine cause there. A service error by Els, just the
second one tonight.
That's right.
Pretty amazing, given the fact that they're taking so many chances from behind the service line and hitting it at a pretty high pace.
And here is Noreen Yosia. Wow, what a pass. Middle set, that's Muff, dug up by Okino as she rolls out of bounds. Van Sickle off the hands and down. Rika Okino with a save to remember right there.
So now I'm stuck. Is it Ambright Genie's the play of the game, or is it Rika Okino with that dig? Amazing.
6 kills, meanwhile, for Van Sickle. She is tied with Helvig for tops in that stat for Hawaii. Pass by Els. They go outside, set to McCartney, the dink shot. And how about Van Sickle? On the second touch, is able to flush it down.
And you saw Jeannie ran over Van Sickle and put her hands up like, hey, where's the set? How come I need to get a set? You hit the... Yeah, Jeannie gets the assist. There you go.
Jeannie, again, just filling the stat sheet tonight.
Yeah.
Ells with the pass. You'll see it taking a little something off that time. McCartney got a piece of the block, dug up by Van Sickle. Bump set comes her way. 2 blockers up for the Bears. Layout save Ells. And it winds up in the pin. And that's a point for Hawaii. Isn't it amazing? Time and time again, how the complexion of these sets, how the complexion of these matches tend to change and shift when Noreen Yosia is behind the service line.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens all the time. And how about Taylor Ells in that dig to keep the play alive for Northern Colorado? And they just couldn't quite convert at the end. But you're right. You know, Yosia goes back there, and it can be a different game. She can take over a game all by herself with that jump serve of hers.
Well, Brooke Van Sickle putting up some big numbers for Hawaii so far. 7 kills, hitting 500, Z-Mac.
It's pretty good for someone who's, I think, 5'8" on a good day with the tennis shoes on. But she's got the hops. She's got the volleyball DNA from her mom, Lisa, and dad, Gary, who I'm sure both are watching either on TV right now or maybe they're in the arena. I haven't seen them this weekend. But she's playing some good volleyball, I'll tell you.
Yeah, tends to bring out her best stuff when it matters the most, Brooke Van Sickle. Let's send it over to Ryan.
Well, the Hawaii coaching staff much happier with their team's effort right now and just the overall attitude with the team. Right now, they're continuing to talk to their blockers about their hand positioning, saying they're getting used far too much. They want their blockers to really work on staying low and tight. And earlier in the timeout, Robin Hummel really talking to her outside hitters, saying, hit with confidence. Sometimes you guys are going up there and look unsure. She said, go out there, this is our house, feel comfortable, and swing confidently. Back over to you guys.
I like that advice by Robin. Great advice. Love it.
Hawaii hitting 350 now here in this second frame. And they lead by 2, and man, this crowd here in the latter portion of this season has just been incredible. During the timeout, they're doing the wave. Everybody, it seems with the exception of just a sprinkled in few, didn't get the whiteout memo. I mean, just unreal. And you knew it would be, right? Yeah. It's always one of the cases made on behalf of Hawaii when it comes to potentially hosting in the postseason is, hey, look, it's one of the best atmospheres in the country, and most certainly the fans will come out to support this team if they are there, and they've done so again tonight.
Oh, just amazing support from Honolulu fans. And how about the way they showed up at the box office at 5 a.m. on Wednesday to start buying tickets?
Here's Van Sickle over the shoulder swing that time, dug up by Ells. Muff, the quick hop, and she's able to get it past the Aigiri and Van Sickle block, which is a pretty formidable block, and get it down for another kill. That is the 5th tie that we embark on here in this second set. And for Muff, that's kill number 7.
So athletic, so athletic.
Out serve, though, by J.D. McCartney. Hawaii back in front. Rainbow Wahine seeded 12th in the NCAA tournament. Ranked 18th in the latest AVCA poll, coming off of their 9th Big West Conference title and 5th since rejoining the league in 2012. Here's Muff, tight to the pin. Somehow got it past Aigiri. That was another athletic play by Taylor Muff. Good stock in the family, right? Older siblings. Alex and Skylar played college volleyball. Dad, Kevin, played basketball at Kansas State. So it's in the DNA.
Yeah.
And here she is to serve on cue. Yosia goes middle, Aigiri. Connection not there. Bears play it back. It's Heinrichs in the middle. And Heinrichs does the deed. And Northern Colorado reclaims the lead. I mean, the back and forth swings that we have seen from serve number 1 in this match has been pretty unreal.
Yeah, two very evenly matched teams where they're going back and forth, trading side outs. Nobody really taking large leads at any point tonight.
Moments being taken to wipe perspiration off of the floor. And now we get ready to continue. 17 serving 16 in the second. Into the net it goes. Muff tried to take a little something off, pulled the string a little too far. And a big surprise, we're tied again.
Again?
Had 15 ties in the first frame. 7 so far in this one. Here's Ince fresh back into the match. Got a piece. And that's going to be a point for Northern Colorado. That catches Hawaii off guard. Kyra Hanawahine was retreating back behind the service line again. Robin Amo contemplating a challenge there, but it appears as though she will accept the call. 18 serving 17. Lucia has to chase down the set. High balls it outside to Ross. Off the block and out. So McKenna Ross now with 5 kills. She's actually attempted the most swings so far in this match for Hawaii. That was her 16th attack.
Yeah, when she plays front left like that, and all the broken plays, the bad passes and things like that, they all end up going to people like her on the left side. And she's done a pretty good job so far. 5 kills, 3 errors.
Bump set outside. Ince off the block. Good cover there by Els. Back row, it'll be Muff. Off the block and out. It was Ross that caught a piece of it.
Hey, Taylor Muff can do it from everywhere. That's why she's a 6th rotation player. They'll set her anywhere, anytime. And she doesn't need much of a run-up either. She's got natural hops. She can take 1 step close and she's good to go.
There's up 1. Here's Williams. That was a slam dunk. No blockers up.
Maddie Bremer was headed to the outside to block the left side attacker, and she's just gone. Sky Williams all by herself in the middle. Open court.
Just running the hitting lines that time. May have been an out ball played there on the serve by Els. And then it is McCartney righting the ship for Northern Colorado, and they get to 21st. They did so in the first as well.
This team is so scrappy. They're playing some really high-quality volleyball. And that's why they're 17-1 in the league. That's why they won the conference.
Chase down pass there by Ross. Van Sickle dug up by Els. That was sweet. And then McCartney from the opposite side is dug up. Van Sickle, one-hand save over the net, and then Van Sickle a second time. The quick hop, springing back up for the put down.
She took a couple of really good shots. And then she goes up, taps it down, but she had one before that as well, where she was just ripping it down the line, and the line diggers for Northern Colorado just popping it up.
Team high 8th kill for Brooke, hitting .438. Okino with the serve. Outside, Muff comes flying in, diving save Ross. Igidi touches it over on the second swing. Muff, leaning out of bounds, is able to get it down. She was floating wide of the antenna and still got a lick on it.
That was not Daisy Schultz's best set of the night. It got away from her, got way too far outside. Look how Muff saves it. Keeps it in play, gets the kill. For Muff, kill number 10.
Oh, Els though goes into the twine. And it's tied at 21. Taylor Els, a senior on the squad from Lincoln, Nebraska. Team leader in digs, has led the team in digs, in fact, each of the last 3 years. Set the Northern Colorado record with 607 digs a year ago. Here's Yosia. Forces the overpass. Igidi says mahalo nui loa.
You know, Amber Igidi gets the kill, but you know what? You can almost give an ace to Noreen Yosia every time she does that.
Oh, that's an ace. That one is official. And that was smoked off of the palm of Noreen Yosia.
She's uncanny how she could take over a match like this.
Takes a little something off there. Gets the Bears out of system. Free ball coming for Hawaii. Yosia backside, Van Sickle. Down the line and wide. A point for the Bears and a missed opportunity there by Hawaii.
Not sure why Nareen-Yosea went out to Van Sickle. The two blockers up there. Could have gone to Amber Ajiti in the middle. Could have gone back to Helvig, too.
Served by McCartney. And that is shanked by Okino, and Hawaii can't forge a return. That's an ace for Northern Colorado, and we are tied yet again. Timeout signal by Robin Amo, and she cannot be happy about the last couple of sequences. An opportunity just given away by Hawaii 2 moments ago.
Exactly. The shot by Van Sickle down the line, just a little bit too excited, trying to catch a piece of the block and didn't quite do it. That's Hawaii's 10th hitting error of the night. Not something Robin Amo is used to having her team do. They did that early on in the year, but late in the year, they tend to start reducing their hitting errors, those self-inflicted wounds, as you say.
Well, for Northern Colorado, Taylor Muff has just been too much to handle so far for the Rainbow Wahine. 10 kills, hitting .308 C-Mac, 26 attempts, and as you have already alluded to, doing it from all angles.
Yeah, she's hitting from everywhere. You know, she'll hit out of the back row, and she's got a good serve as well. I saw that serve for an ace. And she'll hit balls out of the back row in any of the 3 spots out of the back row. She'll hit everywhere in the front row as well. She's what they call like a swing hitter, where she'll actually pass the ball as a back row passer or a front row passer in the middle of the court, and she will audibilize where she's going to go. She'll tell the setter in the middle of the pass where she's going to go. Pretty interesting way to take advantage of her athleticism.
Well, take your internet with you. Spectrum Internet customers get free unlimited access to over 4,000 Wi-Fi hotspots across the islands. And of course, one of those hotspots right here at the Stan Sheriff Center. Now, think about this, .375 the hitting percentage for Northern Colorado in this second set, and doing so against one of the best blocking teams in the country, frankly.
Well, it says a lot about their offense.
Just sneaking that one over the tape was the server McCartney. Free chance here for the Bears. They go backside. Heinrichs off of 1 foot. That's dug up. Okino. High ball bump set. Van Sickle. 2 blockers up. She's roofed. Denied by Heinrichs and Muff. There again.
Solid block. Forehands across. Tough to get through that. And they were waiting for Brooke. Ambush.
It is aloha ball for the Bears in the second set. Okino the pass. Good one. Yosea outside. Helvig. 2 blockers up. Fingertips got a piece. Bears play it back. Here's Muff. Blocked and roofed by Amber Ajiti. And we're tied once more. And we'll play extras yet again here in this second set.
A rare error from Muff that time. Went right into the hands of Amber Ajiti.
Amber Ajiti led the conference in blocks per set. Almost 1.3 per set here this season. 24 all. Here's Muff. Ajiti got just a fingernail on it. But again, that middle for Hawaii, a little slow getting out there on some of these sets outside the Muff.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they weren't like having one block and just assigned to her.
Chance for the Bears once again here in the second. Yosea, middle. Ajiti had to just soft touch it over. Northern Colorado goes middle. Heinrichs gets it down. And Northern Colorado has shown up here in Honolulu. And they have proven that they are ready to give this nationally ranked Rainbow Wahine squad a run for their money. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the McDonald's match statistics. Either team could be up 2-0 here at this stage. It is 1-1 after 2, C-Mac.
Exactly. Now you look at the stats. There's one word you can use for it. Even, Steven. Look at this. 30 kills the same. Attempts equal, fairly equal. Errors the same. Hawaii hitting for a little bit better kill percentage. Blocks, Hawaii's got an advantage. Digs about even. Ace there's about even. So it's kind of interesting how this match is unfolded. I wouldn't have expected that the stats would be this even at this stage. I really thought that Hawaii might start flexing their muscles a little bit sooner, but not to be. And a lot of credit to the Northern Colorado team, and especially how about Taylor Ellis? She leads all diggers with 10. No Hawaii digger has 10 digs, so got to give some credit to her. And looks like we got a new player on the court. You want to announce the new? I can't recognize her. Who is that?
For the first time since the 7th match of the season, Jolie Rasmussen on the floor here. Jolie Rasmussen, 6'2" junior from Encinitas, California, one of the 3 transfers from Oregon. Just lit the Stan Sheriff Center on fire in her debut as a Rainbow Wahine, and through the first few weeks of the season, averaging 3.4 kills per set, hitting .285. Hasn't played until since September 12th against West Virginia. That was the match in which she got hurt. And Hawaii wanting a touch on the opening serve of set number. And so a little bit of a delayed start here to the festivities in set number 3, welcoming Jolie Rasmussen back to the fray. But she is a player who was the Hawaiian Airlines Classic MVP early in the year, AVCA Big West Conference Player of the Week. I mean, she was just, before she got hurt, awesome.
And she had a big spring as well, a big match against Texas in the spring. So she, the number 2 ranked Texas now. There's then maybe a touch there. And you saw earlier a shot of her parents. Dean and Deanna flew in from Encinitas yesterday for this weekend's activities. I talked to Jolie yesterday. She was not expecting to play. She knows how well that team was playing that finished the Big West season. That combination was so she was not expecting to play, but if needed, she said she's happy she can go and contribute if possible.
And if Hawaii, as you take a look at this, pretty hard to tell. Not sure if there's anything definitive enough to be able to overturn the call here, but I think if Hawaii is to get past Northern Colorado, and it certainly is a big if at this point, tied 1 set apiece, but if they are, and moving on to play San Diego tomorrow, it would behoove Robin Amo to get Jolie Rasmussen some action tonight just to get back into the timing and rhythm of things. But she might have to rely on her to help spark this Rainbow Wahine squad tonight.
Exactly. I kind of thought that she'd get in tonight if Hawaii was up 2-0 and up 15-10 in the 3rd, and then throw a few points. But they're having to use her a little bit sooner. Well, it was a good challenge. You see Robin Amo upset that she even had to use the challenge in that situation. Either way, an ace to open things up for Noreen Yosia in set number 3. A must-get set number 3. But that long delay may be playing a role in Yosia going into the net on serve number 2. So we are knotted at 1 apiece. If you're just joining us, opening round of the NCAA tournament. Hawaii, the 12th seed, hosting here in this sub-regional. 1 set apiece against Northern Colorado, and the first swing since September 12th for Jolie Rasmussen is a put down. Interesting that who she's subbing for is Hannah Helbig. Nice bump set there. And Jolie gets a nice swing at 2-person block. Manages to go over.
Meanwhile, Van Sickle, good serve. How about the back bump set to Muff? Layout save, Igidi.
Again, Igidi again.
Then a joust at the net. Igidi winning that battle. But Muff will get a swing out of it. Touches it over. Save, you'll see a back bump set. Ross gets it from Okino. Through the block and down. How's Amber here?
Unbelievable. You just don't see many middle blockers lay out, give up their bodies that much. But Amber unafraid to do so.
Here's Muff. Block got a good chunk there, but it goes OB off the hands. And another kill for Taylor Muff. And another point for Northern Colorado.
12 kills now for Muff. She just hits the ball so hard. Even if she sees 4 hands across, she's unafraid to just challenge it. She's fearless out there. Great athlete.
I mean, Hawaii led the Big West Conference in blocks per set. They were 26th nationally in that category as Jolie goes off the block and down. And so it looks like the timing for the moment is just fine for Jolie Rasmussen.
I think because she's in for Helvig, she'll only be playing 3 rotations, so they aren't going to overuse her for sure.
Wahine with the serve. And that one shanked a little bit, touched over, and basically a free chance here for Hawaii. Here's Ross off the block. Good two-hand save by McCartney down the line. High ball outside, and that is KJ Ince. It didn't look like she had any chance of getting it through that Hawaii block, and she did.
That was about as broken a play as you can find. Here's the bump set way across the court. She finds the ball, it's about a volleyball's width of space between the antenna and the block. Brilliant shot by KJ.
Yeah, huge leap for Ince from last season, which was her freshman year, as Ross gets it down for Hawaii from the outside position. Ince played just 29 sets as a frosh, 33 kills last year. Here she is leading this team in her sophomore campaign in kills per set. So as you mentioned, Rasmussen to the bench. Here's Bailey Choi with the serve. High ball outside, it's Ince. Block got a good chunk there. Choi high balls it outside to Ross. And a net violation will go against the Bears. And it took several Hawaii players sort of urging the officiating crew on before they got that whistle.
Somebody call it. That was pretty funny. The net was definitely shaking that time.
That's right.
A lot.
You could see that one from the upper deck. Here's Bailey Choi. Ince blocked and roped. Sky Williams next to Noreen Yosia saying,
Well, the longer the match goes on, I think it'll be easier for the Hawaii middle blockers to figure out this Northern Colorado offense, because it's got some nuances to it that make life difficult for a middle blocker.
Sure, a little unorthodox in some of the approaches here. Ince being one of them. Good play off the block there by Choi. Bump set goes to Ross. 2 blockers up, and she tools it. So McKenna Ross with her 9th kill. That's tops for Hawaii, and that forces a Bears timeout. We'll take a break as well. The senior, McKenna, doing it. Well, the return of Jolie Rasmussen, none too soon here. Opening round of the NCAA tournament. We haven't seen her since September 12th. The match in which she was injured against West Virginia, has fought an ankle injury, has nursed her way and rehabbed her way back into the lineup tonight. And she obliges CMAC. 2 kills on 2 swings on the bench at the moment. But what does her presence do for Hawaii? What kind of options does she provide?
Well, I think it provides a lot of options. I think that Hawaii can do a number of different lineups. I mean, Robin Amo could go back to that sub for the center's offense. She could get the lineup could get larger in an instant if she just all of a sudden pulls Yosia out and puts Rasmussen in. And there's a number of things they can do to have a bigger lineup. But the small lineup has played so well that they may want to stick with a small lineup. They could do it. They could go small, medium, or large. Take your pick.
Well, speaking of large, the largest lead of this match for either team, a 6-0 Rainbow Wahine run. So they're up 7 here off of the ace by Bailey Choi. You saw the block by Sky Williams a sequence earlier. Hawaii now with 7 total team blocks in this match, and they're starting to assert themselves, dare we say, here in set number 3. Block got a good piece there on the slide to Cece Hoon. Back row set, Van Sickle delivers.
Oh, man, that was one of the best plays of the night. Great set by Bailey Choi. A blind back set to Van Sickle, and Brooke was ready for that pipe set out of the back row. Brilliant play.
As much of a groove as we have seen the Rainbow Wahine experiencing in this match. High ball bump set goes to Ince on the outside. Couldn't put everything into it. Chance here for Hawaii. It's Rossi. Just beasted. 10th kill, first to double figures for the Bows.
That's how Rossi was hitting in practice the last couple of days. Just hammering. Finds the hole in the block. So her vision has gotten better. She's jumping higher, hitting harder. having the time of her life. Pretty good for a person who was recruited as a libero and defensive specialist.
That's right. Playing her best volleyball in this home stretch of her career. 8-0 run for the Bulls. Here's Ince. Block got a good piece again. Van Sickle just guarding that back line. Ross tools the block. And McKenna unrelenting from that outside pin. That's now 9 in a row here for Hawaii. Just taking a stranglehold of this third frame. Another good serve by Choi. It's an ace!
Bailey Choi having a field day back there. Either getting aces or forcing bad passes.
Second on the team in service aces this season. The lead is 11. The run is 10. Timeout Bears. Oh, catch the greatest plays, biggest blocks, and schedule info by following Spec Sports High on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Yeah, people in the Christmas spirit already. Jolie Rasmussen bringing a positive spirit to the festivities tonight, making her return after a long absence from the lineup. And that had to be a struggle for Jolie, right? Bursting onto the scene in her Rainbow Wahine career after transferring from Oregon. And then, you know, seeing this team put together a championship run through conference as Ross sends it long. Was there a touch? She wanted it. No touch call. Just about every Rainbow Wahine on the floor felt like there was one. I don't think Robin Amo wants to burn another challenge, particularly with her team up double digits here.
Yeah, she's used 2 already. She's got to save that third for a more crucial part of the game. You know, when you're up 14-4,
maybe a little athletic justice. That's what the crowd will likely believe in as that one goes into the net. But again, getting back to Jolie Rasmussen, the level of frustration and angst and just that roller coaster ride of emotion throughout the season, it must feel liberating and cathartic to be back out there here this evening.
Absolutely.
McKenna Ross, meanwhile, just splendid in all facets here in this match. 11 kills, give her a service ace, Hawaii by a dozen. High ball bump set. This is Mackenzie Harris fresh into the match. As Lindsay Oates trying to find a spark here, maybe get some rest for her starters at the same time. You'll see it couldn't get it down. Okino the save, Hawaii on the attack. Williams in the middle. Caught it flush.
You see where Bailey Choi set that ball? She set the ball from the 9-foot line. Unafraid to fire it up to the net. To Sky Williams, who was ready.
Sky Williams batting 1,000 prior to.
I think Hawaii's got to engage in more of those risky sets to really keep the other team's defense honest.
6 kills, 6 swings for Sky Williams. Prior to tonight, Sky hitting .388 on the year. What a save there by Van Sickle. Bump set goes to Yosia. Good up there by Els on the Bears side. And then Sky Williams shutting the door on Maddie Bremer. Solo stuff. And Hawaii up 14.
Block number 7 on the night. Amber Igiti's been in on 5 of those 7.
Just sneaking over the tape by Ross. Ince blocked and roof. And Sky Williams putting up an impenetrable wall here in the third set. And look at this score, Seaman.
I'll tell you, a lot of it has to do with the block has gotten better for sure. Northern Colorado's cooled off a little bit offensively. Isn't passing as well as they were the first 2 sets. There's a good pass, and they didn't set the middle.
And that time, pummeling it through the block was the freshman from Eaton, Colorado, Mackenzie Harris. That ends a 5-0 Rainbow Wahine run. So we saw a double-digit run earlier in this set. That one ended a 5-0 Rainbow Wahine run. They have just been in charge here in the third. And that's an out serve. So if you're Northern Colorado and you're Lindsay Oates, what's sort of going through the mind right now?
Try to get some good passing, get an offense going again, because they're just unable to score points. As you can tell, 5 points is paltry, and their hitting percentage is not very good either in this set.
Roll shot. Busting out the spatula was Van Sickle, but a late whistle, as they're going to ultimately say that that hit the Terraflex, and it very well may have, but there is absolutely no debating. That whistle came long after that attempted pancake save.
I'm not sure why it was such a late call. And Colorado had 3 kills, 4 errors. They're hitting negative 048. That's been their biggest problem.
Good pass there by Brooke. Behind the head set from Choi to Igidi getting in on the fun.
Choi unafraid to do that back line set to her middle. That's the 3rd time she's done that. 2 to her middles and once to the back set, the pipe set to Brooke Van Sickle.
Yosia with the serve. 3 blockers up on Harris. And Jolie on the second touch sends it over. Scramble play here for the Bears. Can they forge a return? Yes, they do. Free opportunity for the Bows. Outside, Van Sickle. High hands kept alive in the back row. They go right side. Again, it is Harris blocked back. Now it's going to be Muff from off the net. Right there is Ross. Hawaii on the attack. Here is Rasmussen. And we keep this sequence going. Right side, it goes to Harris. Dug up by Rasmussen over the net. Harris couldn't get it down thanks to the feistiness of Okino. Van Sickle dug up by a diving Els. Here's Muff, the dink. One hand save by Yosia. Back row said it's Ross. And we play on in the sequence. Muff, cross court, diving, save Okino. Rasmussen tried to catch him napping, nothing doing. Muff again through the block. We got a net violation. And a fairly anticlimactic finish to what was a marathon rally here in this 3rd frame.
There's a great example of Hawaii fans. They lose the rally. Here's a great save. That time by Yosia. And here's on the other side, Els again having a terrific night playing back row. But the fans clapping, but Hawaii lost the rally. What's up with that? Because they appreciate great volleyball.
Exactly. Here's Jolie. Smokes that one. And Rasmussen with her 3rd kill. Taylor Els on the side of the Bears. C-Mac, you talked about her defense. 13 digs here in this match so far. She averages 4.5 per set. How about Hawaii, though? 3 players in double figures in digs.
Yeah, Brooke Van Sickle with 10, Lorraine Yosia with 12, Rico Aquino with 12. That's playing some pretty good defense. 44 digs altogether. Colorado's 35.
And already yet another double-double performance for Yosia. 62nd of her career as that one is plugged through the block by Taylor Muff. So when you start to break this down, and Hawaii looking to close the deal here in the 3rd, what has been the biggest difference? Why have we seen the Rainbow Wahine erupt in the way that they have here in this 3rd set, you think?
2 things. One, great serving, forcing Colorado into bad passing. And the second thing is Hawaii's block got it going. It forced all kinds of problems for Colorado's hitters. That's why Northern Colorado is hitting negative in this set. More errors than kills.
That's right, 4 blocks for Hawaii in this set. 0.65 the hitting percentage in set 3 for Northern Colorado. Overpass, Williams couldn't put it down. Off of 1 foot, it's Heinrichs, the save by Brooke. Here's Jolie on the opposite side. From her knees, it's dug up by Els. Ince, how about the dig there by Igidi? Middle set goes to Williams. And the Bears can't forge a return. We may joke about it. It may be at this stage of her career a bit tongue-in-cheek, but we may not be far away from Amber Igidi being a 6-rotation middle at some point in her career.
I hope she watches this broadcast and hears you say that.
I mean, what she is doing is incredible. And how about McKenna Ross? She has been incredible all evening long. A solo roof on match point. point on set point in the third, and Hawaii will have an opportunity to close the deal in this match, opening round of the NCAA tournament. Hawaii up 2-1. Welcome back. McKenna Ross has been tremendous in this opening round match of the NCAA tournament. CMAC, all-around effort.
11 kills, hitting 280. Just solid numbers on the outside. Bringing that heavy arm of hers, those great hops. Really delivering. And how about that last block solo to end the third set? Young lady who was, oh, here's a blocking package here. We see Sky Williams. She got in on a bunch. Ambrigini got in on 5. And Hawaii had 5 blocks of their 10 in the one set, in the third set. The Manoa Roofing Company coming alive.
That's right. The Akamai Roofing Report. The total blocks for Hawaii in this match, 10. They have outblocked their opponents 9 of the last 10 matches of the year coming into tonight. And their blocks per set numbers, 2.6 as a team. The most since 2015. And if you remember, that was a season where Hawaii actually, for a time, led the nation in blocks.
They've really got it going on tonight. We'll see how they do. It's 0-0 now in the fourth set. No guarantees here.
First serve from Schultz sails long. And Hawaii starts off with the point. You see the kill numbers percentage-wise for either side. Hawaii starting to create some separation there. And Marine, you'll see it a serve.
Looks like Robin Amo is going with the same lineup that she had last set.
Good pass there. Ince gets the set on the outside, and she goes off the block and out. So KJ Ince getting the start here in this fourth set. The Bears playing tightly with Hawaii through the first 2 stanzas. In fact, they very well could have been up 2-0 going into that third frame.
Easily.
So Kimberly Feather, Ace's leader with the serve. Cross-court bump set goes to Jolie, and she hits it into the pin. So a point for Northern Colorado. Bears making their 5th NCAA Division I tournament appearance. Again, they transitioned to Division I and the Big Sky Conference back in 2006, making their 2nd trip to Hawaii. Came out here in the NCAA tournament in 2011. And lost in 3. It will not be a sweep tonight. We know that for sure. But Northern Colorado still seeking their first NCAA tournament win at the Division I level. But boy, what a season they have enjoyed. Riding a 12-match win streak, matched the Big Sky single-season record with 17 conference wins. They have just been awesome throughout. And so Hawaii knew they were going to get a run for their money. But it was interesting to see the Rainbow Wahine sort of exact their authority in that third set.
Yeah. Well, they knew they had a great team they were playing. 26-24, 26-24 in those first 2 sets. As you said, they could have been down 0-2 very easily.
Gidi able to get that one down. All right, ticket attendance numbers issued 7,818 through the turnstile 7,126. Solid crowd here, and you would imagine tomorrow night has the potential to be a full-blown sellout. As that one misses the floor for Mackenzie Harris. 4 serving 3 here early in the fourth.
Well, whoever wins this match is going to need a formidable opponent in San Diego. They're really playing good volleyball.
Muff through the block and down. Muff continues her rampage here tonight. 16th kill. She's hitting up near 350.
Ross leading the way for Hawaii. 11 kills.
And Jaden McCartney getting ready to send it over. Garcia goes high and away. Here's Ross. It was a heavy hit, but a good dig in the back row. Sent over on the second touch, though, by Muff. Rasmussen's soft touch is dug up by Ells. Here's Muff from off the net, hits the pin. One of the few unforced errors we have seen from Taylor Muff.
She does a pretty good job of she's only had 3 errors all night long in 38 swings, so she usually makes great choices.
quite a selection Sunday for the Rainbow Wahine, not only getting word that they were going to host, which was obviously the goal all season long. Muff comes flying in. One-hand save there by Choi. Here's Rossi from over the shoulder, and she gets it down. That is 12 kills now for McKenna Ross. The other thing that Hawaii found out, this is something that I think reflects kindly, certainly, on the atmosphere of volleyball around these parts. The Big West Conference got 3 teams in, and UC Santa Barbara and Cal Poly each getting first-round wins. UCSB actually taking Texas, the 2 seed, all the way to the limit before losing in 5. They were up 2-1 in the second-round match today as Sky Williams finds the floor. What does that say about the Big West Conference?
It says a lot about the Big West Conference and the strength of it. We see the aunties in the corner enjoying the show, as usual. And how about Cal Poly today? Tori Van Winden making her 2019 debut.
Yeah, a Jolie Rasmussen-like return to the lineup for Tori Van Winden and the Cal Poly Mustangs. A 4-0 run now for Hawaii as that one is sent long. We're going to have a timeout by Northern Colorado, so we'll take a break as well. Hawaii off and running in the 4th. Enjoy the behind-the-scenes look at alleyway eateries in Japan and Hawaii, as well as the iconic foods that make up our local lifestyle on the Yokocho and We Go Eat series, December 9th through 13th at 8 p.m. only on Spectrum OC16. 8 serving 4 out of the timeout. And it will be Bailey Choi. A couple of aces on her stat line already in this match. Here's Muff from that middle position. Had to sort of redirect her approach, and she was able to get it down.
I told you Muff will move all over the place. She was a left side hitter then. She moved in the middle, took that set, and the Hawaii blockers lost track of her.
Now here is Muff to serve. Williams blasted by the solo block attempt at Heinrich. And Sky Williams still perfecto. 9 kills, 9 swings.
Something else, isn't she?
It really is. Again, it is quality versus quantity for Sky Williams. They won't set her as many times as they'll likely set IGD, certainly some of the other offensive swingers for Hawaii, but when they do set her, she is usually on point. Now, we were talking about the Big West getting 3 teams in, and it has traditionally been known as a 1-team conference, and so I think the achievement of getting 3 programs in for Hawaii is one that certainly deserves recognition. And I think it comes at an interesting time because we also got word here just the other day as Sky Williams this time flashing the defense top the tape. Dennis Farrell, the longtime commissioner of the Big West Conference, in fact for 27 years in that position, announcing that he will be retiring following the 2019-2020 academic year. He became the conference's 4th commissioner back in 1992. Has been with the conference formerly known as the Pacific Coast Athletic Association since 1980. So we want to wish Dennis Wells, wonderful guy. He has done tremendous things for this league. And I think the timing is incredible because the Big West Conference is about as respected in this sport of women's volleyball as it has ever been.
One of the things I think Dennis is most proud of is the legacy he left, knowing that he was this conference is the only conference in America with women's volleyball, beach volleyball, men's volleyball, all 3 well supported.
Service ace for Rico Okino. That's now 7 service aces for Hawaii here in this match. Make that, is that number 8 for Hawaii? Yeah, 8 service aces for the Rainbow Wahine. Back row, it goes to Muff. Played off the net by IGD. She gets the set in the middle, is blocked back. Good cover there by the Bows. Yosia splits the double block and gets it down, and Hawaii is officially rolling once again.
Every time I see Noreen Yosia get a kill, I get a smile on my face because she's someone who didn't practice hitting at all in the preseason in August. And all of a sudden she's called upon to be a hitter in the middle of September. And the next thing you know, she's putting up kill after kill after kill. Amazing.
In cross court and wide. Good job by Okino. She dodged that like the Matrix. And gets Hawaii the point, a 5-0 run. Another timeout by the Bears. Hawaii opening up once more. Welcome back. Make sure you stay tuned right after the match for the Heineken post-game show for insight, highlights, and analysis. You'll want to stick around. They usually have some highbrow discussion to go along with an interview or two. Interesting match here tonight. I mean, it was back and forth. Could have gone either way through the first two sets. 26-24 Hawaii in the first, 26-24 Northern Colorado in the second. And then the Rainbow Wahine just all of a sudden got untracked. 25-8 in the third. And here they are, having doubled up Northern Colorado even after that inch put down. 14-7 in the fourth. High ball outside, it's Van Sickle roll shot. Good effort there by Schultz defensively. Back row set goes to Muff. Solo block. Noreen Yosia.
Where did that come from? Noreen, I think, shocked herself a little bit. She just wanted to go up and kind of get in the way a little bit. She's going, what, is that me getting a block solo?
That's your Big West Conference Player of the Year, and I think quite a testament to the kind of all-around influence she has had. Case in point, her fourth service ace of the match. For the other coaches in the conference to recognize what she meant for this team. She didn't put up the biggest offensive numbers. Because of her all-around service, she does fill the stat sheet, but not to the degree of some of the offensive stalwarts that we see throughout the conference, and yet the coaches recognized her importance, and I thought that that was pretty remarkable.
I think it was, I'm glad the coach did recognize that. What they didn't know is how much she also became the coach on the floor, how much responsibility Robin gave to Noreen Yosia to basically run the team at various times.
Here she is setting cross court to Rasmussen. Diving save there by Schultz. How about the cross court bump set goes to Muff. Easy pickings there though on the save by Ross. And then Igidi on the connection from Noreen. And Hawaii all smiles right now for good reason.
Two blockers up. Amber Igidi, just a freshman, starting to learn how to do that little back shot to get away from those blockers that are taking her other cross-court shot.
Free ball coming for the Bows. Yosia, delayed middle, goes to Jolie, and she crushes it. Oh, she's back all right. And the crowd loving the fact that Jolie Rasmussen is back in action.
Great set from Yosia as well.
Here's Harris by the double block. That was heavy-handed.
Mackenzie Harris, known as kind of a nickname as the silent assassin. Doesn't just quiet, goes quietly, goes about her way, getting a couple kills a game, playing in the opposite position.
Serve goes long from Taylor Ells. She's had a few service errors in this match. And Hawaii once again up double figures, and Amber Igidi will serve for the Bows.
They're letting me play back row again.
Here we go. It's happening. The sixth rotation middle.
She's now a fourth. This is her fourth rotation.
Right side set. It's dug up there by Van Sickle. Ross tried to clobber it through the block. Igidi takes on the setting responsibilities to McKenna. Good dig there by Ells over the net. You'll see a middle. Williams, oh, she whiffed on it. And that is going to be the first misconnection with Sky Williams here in this match.
I'm not sure if that error is going to go to the center, Yosia, or
valid
the attacker.
Question. Yosia, here's Williams. Dug up, high ball bump set goes to Muff. Dug up by Jolie Rasmussen. Cross court to Ross, and she sends it long. Awaiting the winner of this match, San Diego. And the team that ironically Hawaii opened the season with in what was a 5-set thriller. The catch, San Diego did not have Grace Froling, 6'5" freshman who went for 17 kills earlier this evening in a 4-set win over Washington State. Touch shot by Rasmussen, good dig there by Heinrichs. Back row, that is McCartney, dug up by Brooke. Ross, 3 blockers up against her, was able to slide it by there. Coverage by Els, and then Muff dug up by Okino. Williams bump set to Rossi. Pinballed around and returned. Good scramble play by the Bears. Here's Ross again. Els with the up.
What a dig by Els.
Muff off the block. Diving save, Rossi. And it'll be returned. We play on another marathon sequence. Here's Muff again. Blocked out a good chunk. And that time Ross couldn't conjure up the save. And again, the crowd applauds the effort on both sides of the twine.
Oh, some high quality play right there. Both teams play terrific defense. Highlight of the rally though, Taylor Els digging up a heater from Ross.
Outside. And speaking of heaters by Ross, there it is. Kill number 13. The only player in double figures in kills. A pretty evenly distributed offensive night for Hawaii.
Again, would you figure that this young lady right here was recruited as a libero and defensive specialist? And now she's a primary attacker on the outside and playing the best volleyball of her life.
Yeah, just extra springy, extra confident. Coming at just the right time. And now you reintroduce Jolie Rasmussen as yet another part of this arsenal. It gives Robin Amo some options, and we saw that tonight. Muff goes high hands, dug up by Van Sickle. Outside, Rossi. Els digs it up to the net, joust above the tape. Saved on a rolling effort there by Okino. And now the Bears in transition. McCartney sends it long. And Hawaii starting to close in here. 21 serving 12. Challenging sub-regional with 3, the only sub-regional with 3 AVCA ranked teams. Northern Colorado, the only one that's not currently in the top 25. Here's Van Sickle flying in, she's blocked back. You'll see a bump set goes to Ross, tools the block. McKenna Ross does it again. She has just been amazing.
She's doing it in all kinds of ways, not just attacking. She's had a great night of passing, solid night digging. Had the block solo to end the 3rd set.
Choi scrapes the tape. Here comes Muff. How about the save there by Okino? That was a defensive maneuver. Muff has to readjust the approach. Pancake saved by Choi, and we play on. Muff a 3rd time. This time wins the battle against the block. That was fantastic. And Taylor Muff, I mean, you can stop her momentarily, but they just keep going to her.
Yeah, if she gets 3 swings, they keep coming back. She's going to just take a look at the pancake dig there by Choi. But, you know, Muff gets 3 swings. She's going to win in the end run. She's going to win.
Oh, pinball action by Hawaii to forge a return. Heinrichs off of 1 foot is blocked. En route, Sky Williams and Noreen Yosia next to each other. You know, another interesting aspect of this sub-regional, one of only 2 CMAC with all female head coaches. And I think that's something that certainly in the women's volleyball NCAA tournament is something to comment on.
Sports go in the right direction.
That's right. Ince. She's got 13 put downs.
This crowd of 7,000, the ones that want to beat the traffic. There's a few leaving, but for the most part, 7,000 hang around till the end. Pretty amazing loyalty. They can't get enough volleyball.
You imagine they will be coming out tomorrow night. Round 2 of the NCAA tournament as Josie goes line. And cue the SSC as they rise to their feet on Aloha ball for the match. Took a while for the Rainbow Wahine to find the groove, but boy, they certainly did in that third set. And here they go with a chance to finish things off. Here's Ince, the swing. Block got a piece, but not enough of one. AJ Ince strikes again.
AJ with a great swing. Block lined up perfectly on her. And she just hammers high and hard and picks up her 12th kill of the night.
Schultz. Pass by Okino. It remains Aloha ball. Here's Van Sickle tight to the net. Kept alive by Ince. Muff from the back row. Hawaii in transition. Here's Aijiri. L's got just a touch on it. Good cover on the second touch there by Muff. Here's Aijiri again. And that one will do it. The Rainbow Wahine advance in 4 sets against the competitive Northern Colorado squad. But in the third, the Rainbow Wahine, they elevated their play. And they dominated their way to a first-round victory. That is now 12 straight wins for Hawaii, and it sets up a rematch with San Diego tomorrow night.
Oh, that's one good San Diego Torero team, well coached. They're big, they're athletic. Great passers. It's going to be a tall order for the Rainbow Wahine to repeat what they did the first match of the year, that 3-2 victory, especially because San Diego has a little bit different lineup right now.
Well, it was neck and neck through 2 sets, and then Hawaii just pulled on the throttle and turned on the boosters, and they raced across the finish line to a 4-set victory here tonight. Let's send it over to Scott Robbins.
First off, Robin, congratulations. The idea is to survive and win. That's exactly what you did. How do you explain the difference between the Wahine in the first 2 sets and what we saw in the last 2 sets?
I don't know. They woke up. They didn't want to lose. They didn't want their season to end. They woke up.
How much do you think Jolie Rasmussen's appearance helped your team as well?
I mean, she's been out all season. I told them, like, we're starting a new season. This is our 2nd season. We got all of our girls back, you know, and we're starting again. So they love her back. I mean, obviously, we all love her back. The crowd loves her back.
It's a good problem to have because now you have a lot of different options you can use, kind of like what we saw at the beginning of the season.
We can use whatever we want.
Talk about McKenna Ross. She came on late in the season. She was gangbusters again tonight. Had just a tremendous match for you.
Yeah, I mean, she just got to have confidence. The last 2 years she was like, I'm a little, you know, short outside hitter. But I say, hey, you got to come in. Like the rest of the season, you got to go balls up.
All right, tomorrow night, the rematch with San Diego. The team you played in the very first match of the season, they're much different, but so are you guys.
That's a great team on the site. They're coached by great coaches. It's going to be a great game. Calm them down.
By the way, Robin, congratulations. Your first win in the NCAA tournament.
I know. High five.
All right, guys, back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Scott. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Taylor Muff was brilliant. 19 kills, 232 in the hitting percentage department. Block, 4 digs, and a service aces. McKenna Ross, 14 kills, hit 250, 3 blocks, 5 digs, and a service ace of her own. All right, C-Mac, so Hawaii advances. It was neck and neck through the first 2 sets, and then they just opened up a can from there. I'll give you the last thought here as the Rainbow Wahine now prepare for a rematch with the Toreros, a Toreros team that is a little bit more built up in terms of their personnel here the second time around.
Well, my first thought is major props to the University of Northern Colorado for the job they did tonight, the way they played, how hard they played, how they could have been up 2-0 instead of being 1-1 after the first 2 sets. Major props to them. They were great. I think they really helped Hawaii prepare for tomorrow night because Hawaii had to play, you know, like second round volleyball the last 2 sets in order to win. So I think they're going to have their hands full tomorrow night. There'll be a lot of film watching tomorrow. coaches have watched film, players have not. So tomorrow's going to be a very intense day for the Rainbow Wahine, going through how to beat this very good San Diego team.
Yeah, they look crisp in the last 2 sets. It's going to require that level performance against San Diego. It should be a doozy tomorrow night at the Stan Sheriff Center. It behooves you to come on down, but of course, we will have it for you right here on Spectrum Sports. All right, we're going to hand it off to the corner crew for the Heineken postgame show. But for now, for Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. See you tomorrow, folks, in round 2 of the NCAA tournament. Aloha from the Stan Sheriff Center.
Highlights Hawaii and Northern Colorado. We start off with the Rainbow Wahine middle hitter, Skylar Williams. She hit 8-18 on the night, 9 kills, as well as being in on 6 blocks. Talking about blocking, Hawaii brought that with them to the arena tonight. There you see a stuffed 13 overall on the night. Hawaii out blocking the Bears 13-3. Williams and Yosia each with 6 blocks. Igidi added 5. On the other side, Taylor Muff, she was very good. She led all killers with 19 on the night for the Bears on 56 swings. She hit 232 and was a thorn in Hawaii's side. But how about the senior, McKenna Ross, leading the way for the Rainbow Wahine with a team-high 14 kills, hit 250 on the night. She also had 3 blocks and added a dig as well. As you see the senior going cross-court, laying that one down as Hawaii advances for the first time since 2016 to the second round with a 4-set victory over the University of Northern Colorado.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Heineken Post-Game Show.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. It is the Heineken Post-Game Show. I'm Scott. She's Lisa. He's Ryan. And Hawaii wins in 4 tonight over Northern Colorado. Though, at least through the first 2 sets, it certainly was not easy. And how much do you think that is just Russ having only played 2 matches in a little over 3 weeks?
Well, I think a little bit of that, but also a little bit of anxiety and nerves. You know, this is the NCAA tournament. You've got a pretty young team. Even though they've had a great season, things are a little bit different when you're going into tournament play and into the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think one of the major factors was just the overall passing. Hawaii's passing was really bad in that first couple of sets and not really able to get in any sort of offensive rhythm. They were also making a lot of errors. I mean, the first 10 points of that first set, Hawaii gave up 7 different points on hitting errors and serving errors. And so I think once they minimized the errors, they were really able to settle down. And then they were able to sort of read this offense. The blockers got much more comfortable with trying to figure out what the hitters for Northern Colorado were doing.
Kanoa and Chris are talking a lot about the serving of Northern Colorado, and they are good servers. But how about Hawaii? 9 service aces, only 8 service errors, 4 of those by, of course, Noreen.
Well, again, Noreen Yosia putting on a serving clinic, but Bailey Choi also came on strong late in this last game, in Game 4, and really served strong, effective balls, getting Colorado out of system numerous times.
And I really feel like that was the game-changing moment, was when Bailey Choi went back and got that big run, as we see some of Hawaii's highlights from behind the service line. Of course, Noreen Yosia can really turn things around with her serve. She almost brings a new style of momentum. Northern Colorado even went to a 4-man passing when Noreen was serving because they had to make sure that they could cover as much court. But I really do agree with you, Lisa. I think that Bailey's service in that run, in that third set, really helped to push the gap open. She was serving area 5, and Colorado could not get a pass. They were only setting the 4, the high ball on the outside, and Hawaii's blocking was just waiting. Hawaii's blockers were waiting out there, and they were able to get, I think, like 4 blocks in that one run alone because of the serving of Bailey Choi.
Well, we saw the return of Jolie Rasmussen for the first time since September when she went down with that injury against West Virginia. Towards the tail end of the second set, I heard Robin tell Jolie, get ready, I'm going to put you in. And she did, and she came away with 4 kills, only hit 231. But just her presence, I think, kind of re-energized this team after those first 2 sets.
I think she has an amazing presence. She's kind of a leader in herself, just leads by example early in the season. And she's so physical as well, playing only in 2 games tonight, subbing in for Hannah Helvig.
Yeah, and I think really it was a really special moment to be in the arena when they announced that she was in here, and to see the fans react the way they did. You can tell that they love her. Of course, the contribution she had in that first week, and her family here in the stands as well. So for her able to have that reception, I think was sort of this uplifting moment. Not saying that Hana was playing badly. I mean, she was hitting over 200. She really helped Hawaii out in some of those key areas, but I think Hawaii just needed a little bit more of a boost. You can still tell, though, Jolie, not that 100% that we saw that first week. Timing's still a little off. Her arm swing is still not as crisp. And I don't know that she's as used to playing on the right side because she's playing on the right than she was swinging when she was on the left. But great to see her back in the lineup for sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at the final numbers from this 4-set victory for the University of Hawaii over Northern Colorado. And guys, there they are. And Hawaii hit a good percentage, 315.
Well, I think the biggest thing that jumps out to me, of course, is the blocks. They just turned it on big time. And Northern Colorado just could not get the ball and move it around the block enough. And it changed the momentum completely, giving the Wahine a ton of confidence. And they were having fun and celebrating after every play.
And that hitting percentage of 315, Hawaii really helping to elevate that hitting percentage. It was not there at the beginning of this match and really helped to turn things around. You could tell they were getting much more confident in the plays that they were running, able to run that offense and get kills. Skylar Williams, I mean, it goes down the line of all the players that played really well. I actually also think that Brooke Van Sickle had a terrific match. She was sort of one of those unsung heroes. There were some hits that she had in that first set where she hit a slide off of 1 foot on the right sideline that got a kill during a clutch moment as we look at some of her highlights. But she really helped to carry that team. That hit she had from the back row, I mean, it looked like we were watching the men's team hitting those bits that we see with them. But I thought she had a really solid night as well.
Lisa, 9 kills, 15 things. She truly is like that utility player out there that every team needs.
Well, it's in the genes. We all know that. So basically, just joking. She did have a great match. I think, she just knows the game so well, her volleyball IQ. And I have to say that I think her best attack is out of the back court. She sees the court so well, and then she plays middle back. And usually the middle back player is your most aggressive player to the ball or your quickest player. But 15 digs, that's a lot of digs in one match.
All right, so the second round is set here in Manoa tomorrow night. 6:30 game on, 7 o'clock for serve. Hawaii, San Diego, the rematch. But we have much more here from the corner when we return.
Welcome back to the Heineken Post Game Show.
Back at the Stan Sheriff Center, where Hawaii takes care of business tonight in the first round of the NCAA tournament as they advance with a 3-1 victory over the Bears of Northern Colorado. All right, let's take a look at the bracket. Hawaii is in. There you see Nebraska and Missouri will match up in Lincoln tomorrow. And then, of course, tomorrow evening here, there'll be Hawaii-San Diego. And, you look at that Hawaii-San Diego matchup. They played each other in the very first match of the season. Hawaii was unranked. San Diego, I want to say it was 25th, if I'm not mistaken. Hawaii had that win, and that really kind of propelled them, I thought, the rest of the way. But we watched San Diego today. That's a much different San Diego team. But so is Hawaii.
Oh, they're both completely different, if you ask me. I mean, Hawaii is significantly improved. The dynamics and the court players on the court, if you will, are completely different, and it continues to change. I mean, Jolie Rasmussen was on the court then. Now she's back on the court. It's just going to continue to change. And San Diego is quicker, faster, stronger.
There's a lot of talk of Froling, the outside hitter, who really has helped to carry this team. 6'5" outside hitter, did not play against Hawaii that first time around. She could be a difference maker. But for Hawaii, McKenna Ross did not play for the first 2 weeks of the season. She obviously a difference maker tonight, leading Hawaii in kills. So both of these teams missing some key components that they now have right now. And I think right now the question for Hawaii is, what lineup do you go with? Do you go back with the lineup you ended with, or do you go back to the lineup that you started the season with? There's a lot of things I think that have to happen for this coaching staff in the next 24 hours.
Well, let's take a look at some highlights from Froling, the freshman for San Diego, who was really, really good tonight. At 6'5", she's very athletic, and she's able to go up and above and over most of the blocks. And so it's going to be an interesting chess match to see how the coaches set their lineup to have at least maybe some taller people off the net when she's on the outside.
Well, she hits a high, mean ball, but they run a quicker offense. So I think the big test will be for Hawaii's blockers, especially the middles, to be able to get out and control her, or at least slow the ball down, because tonight she was actually going over the block numerous times, hitting high offhands. At 6'5", can you imagine the reach?
No, I can't. I've never been 6'5", Lisa. I'm sorry. I'm barely over 5'5".
But I think, you look at Hawaii, they play teams that have had physical players like a Ruddins for Santa Barbara who went off at times, and they were still able to find ways to at least slow them down. The thing with San Diego is they have so many weapons, and when they're in system, as Lisa said, they run a faster attack. So I think it's going to be really important for Hawaii to possibly go bigger at the net. The question then becomes, though, your passing. Who are your passers going to be? So if Hawaii goes with Rasmussen and Hana in the front row, what happens to Ross? What happens to Van Sickle? I think there's a lot of question marks in terms of who's going to be the passers with that. So, because they're the primary passers for the team. So there's a lot of question marks, I think, that need to kind of be answered.
You know, another thing they're going to face is a very aggressive setter. Anna Newsom tonight, I think she had 7 or 8 kills. So she'll become very offensive besides running a quick offense. And that can cause problems.
Well, it definitely caused problems the first time they met up. They went 5. Hawaii escaped that at 3-2. Barely, I believe the last score was 15-13 in the last game. But the other player is Megan Johnson, who's their 6'2" middle blocker, and she's incredibly explosive. She reminds me a lot of Amber Kaufman. She does a lot behind, just real quick, a little bit undersized, but I'll tell you what, she's really quick with a high wrist snapping attack on the ball.
Yeah, I think for Hawaii, what they might end up having to do is sort of go with the 6-2 offense and have Hana as well as have Jolie come in for the setter. So we may not necessarily see Noreen play 6 rotation. She may only play 3, and then they may stick with the smallers on the outside and just move those 2 players and match them up against the bigger so they can either go left or right. So we're going to have to see what happens there.
Well, I think the good news is that there are lots of options.
Yeah,
these players have all gotten a lot of experience so far with different injuries and different lineups. So the coaching staff, they've had a lot of experience this year doing that, changing things up. And so hopefully they'll make the adjustments as needed.
It'll be lineup 2C.B. It's like, what lineup? There's so many variations.
Next.
And I think it was good to see Hawaii be able to get back out on the floor. They played a quality team in Northern Colorado. I mean, they went 17-1 in the Big Sky, and they won the regular and the tournament to kind of get that rust off, if you will, get their legs back acclimated. And I can't imagine they won't play like they did tonight. I imagine they'll play like how they did the last 2 sets against San Diego.
Well, I think you would hope so, and I think that there's not going to be any time for Hawaii to play catch-up if that were the case. They have got to come out strong tomorrow. They cannot really afford those unforced errors. And a really big difference could be this crowd. I mean, we saw this crowd come alive in those ending of both of those sets because they really got into it, especially after that Amber Igidi save in that first set. This place was on fire. So a loud Stan Sheriff Center could be the decision-making and really the case why Hawaii always says they should be hosting this first and second round. So fans should come out.
I think it's going to be a titanic matchup. We watched San Diego, obviously, at the beginning of the year. We watched them today against Washington State. They are really good, but the Rainbow Wahine are really good as well. Alrighty, we'll take a break. We'll come back, have some final thoughts here from Manoa as Hawaii advances.
Welcome back to the Heineken Post-Game Show.
Back inside the Stan Sheriff Center, most of the folks have made their way outside the arena to the parking lot, getting ready to make their plans to head on back out here tomorrow night. One match, the winner moves on. More than likely, you would think, to Madison, Wisconsin. The way it's set up, they're the highest seed in Hawaii's bracket. But should they get knocked off, and should Nebraska get knocked off, and if Hawaii wins, then the regional would be here.
That's right.
Let's do this.
Easy, right?
Come on, girls.
That's all that has to happen.
Hey, what the heck?
Cakewalk.
But anyway, this was a big win. I think a big win also for Robin to finally get over the hump. Her first year, they lost in 5 to Illinois. Last year, they lost in 5 to Baylor. Northern Colorado at home, she got that win, and you could tell she was pretty pleased about that.
Well, I think it's pretty huge. The last 2 years were also at-large bids, so they didn't even know if they were going to actually attend the NCAA playoffs. So that was kind of a great thing. And then this year, the Big West getting 3 teams in and then being able to host at home. But this was huge. I mean, you're at home, you're hosting, you're seated high, and the team definitely struggled in game number 1 and game number 2. There was a little struggle there, but then they got in their rhythm and they got on task.
Yeah, and I think it's the first time, that Hawaii, really tomorrow, they could make history again, being able to advance to a regional semifinal. It has not happened in a while for Hawaii. I believe the last time was when Hawaii won to beat Texas A&M and advanced to play Penn State and actually beat Penn State to go to a regional final. So it's been some years since Hawaii has kind of been back into this position.
You know, you talked about the crowd tonight, Ryan, and how much do you think that really factors into the NCAA when they look at things like, do you think they really care how big a crowd there is?
I mean, I think that it plays into it definitely, but I'm not sure that it's going to become a matter of something that's going to be a decision maker for the NCAA down the line. I think that it is something that just kind of is an added perk, but it's not something that, because ultimately it's not the NCAA, it's the selection committee is the ones that are making those decisions. So.
Well, besides winning tonight, the big story was the return of Jolie Rasmussen, who'd been out since September when she went down with an injury against West Virginia. And Rasmussen came in the third set and really helped Hawaii get their mojo back after dropping that second set. And Hawaii went on and really roared over the Bears in sets 3 and 4. And Rasmussen was so good to see her back out there on the floor after enduring months of trying to rehab and get that ankle going. There you see Jolie getting the kill. You can see her teammates were pretty fired up as well. And she joins us now in the corner. Congratulations, Jolie.
Thank you.
What did it feel like to get the call and to go walk out on the floor for the first time in like 3 months?
It was very exciting. I don't know. When you've been working for something and you've been wanting something for so long, and I mean, the team has been so supportive behind me, and the coaches and the trainers, and just when everyone is just constantly asking you, like, when are you going back, when are you going back, and you just, I'm
it's
here,
a bit emotional.
So, yeah.
She's back.
I'm back. But yeah, no, it was really fun to just be able to go in and, I don't know, play with them again. Like, they're so fun and they have so much energy, and just to be part of that and like be a piece of that is just, it's unparalleled.
How close are you to 100%? I know nobody's really 100%, but how close are you to what you were before you got hurt?
I would say physically, they've kept me going and they've kept me in really good shape. They've got my ankle pretty much all the way back, and it's just finding the groove, finding a position back. Obviously, our team won conference, and I wasn't on the court, so our team is phenomenal, and our team earned it coming here with just the 15 girls who were playing, and I wasn't dressed out. So, I mean, coming back and just finding a place and earning my way back onto the court in whichever way I can is just going to be fun.
So I want to know, how does your ankle feel right now?
I mean, it hurts, but it's not like debilitating.
Right,
So.
right.
What is this? What things have you learned, I guess, sitting on the sideline? And it's something that you've had to do and something you've had to experience with multiple injuries throughout your career. Has this been an opportunity to learn maybe something else that you didn't learn the first few times that you've been injured, I guess?
Yeah, I think honestly I learned more than I have in the last 2 months than I have in years. Like, just being there with my team and like being positive even though I can't play, and like finding ways to contribute, and just when like a player like looks at me and they're like, what can I do? And I'm just like, okay, like let me see, and just finding ways that I can contribute off the court, and just realizing like that my team trusts me, and that being able to help them it's so humbling just to be like, to know that like they'll turn to me and ask me questions. And same for me to them is like, when I stepped on the court, the first thing everyone said is like, hey, we got you back, like don't worry, like we're here for you. And it was so exciting just to be a part of that again.
Well, let's take a look at one of your kills.
Our
right
very first
there.
kill back.
Is that the first kill back?
Yeah.
All right. Talk about tonight's match, because the first 2 sets, I mean, they both went 26-24. Hawaii won the first, Northern Colorado the second. It was a dogfight. But then once the third set started, it was all UH. How do you explain that?
I think we're a super young team, as you stated. There's a lot of freshmen, so they haven't experienced the NCAA. So I think we were just really excited because we wanted to win, and excitement can sometimes lead to being overzealous, if that makes sense. Like, we were doing a little too much and we just needed to kind of relax. And so when we went into the hallway during that break, and Robin just came up and she was like, you got this, like just serve and pass, that's all you need to do. And I mean, Bailey went on like a ridiculously long serving run, and Rika's out there passing nails, and I think that just calmed us down just to be in system and to get them out of system. And then everything else, I mean, our middles were hitting like 1,000 up until, I don't even know, I'm pretty sure they were still hitting 1,000 at the end. So I mean, it was just realizing like, hey, like we earned it, like we deserve to be here, like they're obviously a very good team. Like, they earned it too. So it was going to be a fight, but I think it was just realizing that, like, we had the powers and the tools to go farther and do more, and really honing in on that and just settling down and playing our game of volleyball.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, you played this team as your season opener.
Yes.
And you guys were pretty fired up. I know
Yes.
you were really fired up, and the whole Stan Sheriff was so excited to see all the new players and the transfers and the new freshmen and everybody. And you had this natural leadership about you at that time. So you've played this team before. What are you looking at for tomorrow?
I think it's going to be a really exciting match because we're a completely different team. The lineup that we had at the beginning is not the lineup that we have today, and I think the lineup that we have today would beat the lineup that we had then. I think this team right now has grown and improved so much. We've gelled and we've learned and we've cried, bled, sweat. Like, we've just done it all, and we've gone this long journey from, I mean, the seniors, myself included, Kyra, Skylar, Janelle, like, we were here in January and we had this foundation, and then summer came along and we got 5 amazing freshmen and we got 2 great transfers, and it was like our opening match is just kind of like volleyball, like, what can we do? But now it's like, okay, what can we do as a team, and like, how do we play as a whole? And I think it's just going to be a completely different look.
How much of a relief is it now to kind of get that first game back out of your system? I mean, I was saying earlier, it was a special moment when you walked on the court, you got introduced. People were giving you a standing ovation in the stand when your name was announced, because they were, they wanted to see you back here. But now that that's sort of out of, do you feel like, are you glad almost like that's done and now I can just I'm back?
Yeah. I mean, I found out that I was cleared like 3 days ago.
Okay.
So it's been such a work in progress, and just like constantly trying to figure things out, and just once you get that, like, you're cleared mark, you're like, but am I? Like, I don't know, I just questioned it, but I mean, once you're on the court and your team's like, we got you, like, just go, and you're like, okay, it's just very comforting to know that, like, you have like all these people behind you no matter what. Like, if I came out and I didn't do anything, like, my teammates there for me or whatever. So
I got one last question for you. You guys found out Sunday who the teams are going to be in your bracket and that you'd be home. How much work have you guys done on San Diego? Or was everything just focused strictly on Northern Colorado?
We didn't even talk about either of the teams because it was up between San Diego and Washington State, and we didn't even look at that. We were focused solely on Northern Colorado. We only watched film on them. We only talked about them, and not once were either of those teams mentioned in a locker room, a film session, or on the practice floor. So we were 100% focused on this team right here because we knew that it was going to be a battle, and we knew that they're going to come out strong. And it was, if you don't win, you can't move on. So you got to focus on what's ahead of you. And now it's go home and watch an hour of film and figure out who we're going to play next and wake up in the morning and do it again. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Get some rest, and we look forward to seeing you on the floor again tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
All right, I'll wrap things up for us here tonight from the Sheriff Center. Hawaii advances with a 4-set victory over the University of Northern Colorado. Special thanks, as always, to our outstanding Spectrum Sports crew. For Jolie, for Ryan, for Lisa, I'm Scott. Until next time, we bid you aloha and a good evening from the Stan Sheriff Center in Manoa.